Hopefully it'll work, right? With me today is Will. Say hi, Will.
I'm eating.
He's eating. So, yes, I was trying to do this last week, and it failed miserably because Gage is illiterate. But hopefully Will is a little bit more literate.
I would hope so.
So I'm going to ask this on camera here. You've never heard of the Eye of Argon before now.
No, I have not.
So you don't know its reputation. Won't go
Hmm.
into too much detail, but the reputation is Jim Thies, yes, that's actually how it's pronounced, back in the 80s, I believe, wrote the just worst fantasy novella ever. It was printed for a specific magazine, the name of which I never fucking learned. And then
It's already gone. Print's
yeah,
dead.
yeah, it continued to circle around in, sort of nerd subcultures for just being so horribly written. It's 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 fucking hilarious. And now there's a fun game to play. So here's what we're gonna do. We're going to read this together. You have the same website as I do, Ansible, right?
What's that? Oh yeah, I'm skimming over it right now here,
All
and
right. Don't read too
I
far.
can.
Don't want to
I
ruin the
can.
surprise.
I'm just reading the talking parts here, and I can definitely see why this is bad.
No, it gets so much better. But so basically, what's gonna happen is we'll have you start out since you're the new one here, and
Close my door then.
basically whenever one of us laughs, like whenever the one reading laughs, we swap, and whenever we reach the end of a chapter, we swap. Make sense? He went to close his door.
All right, door's closed.
All right, so let me say this again. Basically, whenever the reader laughs, we swap, and whenever we get to the end of a chapter, we swap. Make sense?
Where's the? Oh, there's the chapters. Yeah, makes sense.
All right. When you're ready.
Take
Oh, I
swig.
one more thing. You gotta read it as it is. Don't try and fix typos or misprints in your head. You have to say it as it is. So if he misspells grasping is rasping, you gotta say rasping.
This is gonna take a lot longer then.
Gotta preserve it.
All right. The weather-beaten trail wound ahead.
Wound.
Oh wow, we're off to a good start.
That one's
No,
actually.
that's wound. That's wound. That's wound.
I'm looking this up. Huh.
This is one of those words that are pronounced two ways.
No, you're right. That's wound. All right.
So
Continue.
he's an idiot.
All right.
The weather-beaten trail wound ahead into the dust-racked climbs of the barren land, which dominates large portions of the Norgolian Empire. Oh, okay, Norgolian Empire.
Yeah.
Right.
Not the Mongols, not the Norse, the Norgolians.
Or as my dad would call them, the Mongoloid Empire.
Alright, continue.
Age-worn hoof prints, smothered. Okay, now I almost fucked up there because I'm expecting fuck ups. Smothered by sifting sands of time shone dully against the dull splattered crust. That is the longest. That is a long run-on sentence. There.
Oh, it gets worse.
The tireless sun cast its parching rays of incandescence from overhead, halfway through its daily revolution. Small rodents, just day. Small rodents scampered about, occupying themselves in daily accomplishments of their dismal lives. Dust sprayed over 3 heaving mounts. Mounts,
yes.
not mounds. This is harder than I expected. In blinding clouds, while they bore the burdensome. Wow, cargoes of their struggling overseers.
Are you sure you're not illiterate?
Well, I'll tell you what. I deal with numbers, not fucking English. I
So,
passed high school, so
so if this was
I
in
knew.
binary, you might do better.
Yeah, maybe. Or if it made more sense, they'd probably do a lot
Oh
better
yeah.
here.
All right, onward.
Again, I'm just expecting mistakes.
Yeah.
Prepare to embrace your creators in this Stygian
Stygian.
haunts of hell. Hear
Stygian.
about the real word?
Yes, it's a real word. He actually made a real word. Look at him.
The sentence still sounds lame as fuck. The Stygian haunts of hell, barbarian. Gasp the. I should be gasping.
Yeah.
Prepare to embrace your creators in the Stygian haunts of hell, barbarian. Gasp the first soldier.
Poor guy has asthma.
Only after you have kissed the fleeting steed of
Stead.
dead of death, wretch. Return, Gringer. Grigner.
It's pronounced Grigner,
I almost said ginger.
yeah.
A sweeping blade of flashing steel riveted from the massive barbarian's hide enameled shield as his rippling right arm thrust forward. Oh well. Sending a steel shod blade to the hilt what? To the hilt into the soldier's vitals or vital. He killed multiple soldiers, not the one.
Let's give this a thorough examination here. A sweeping blade of flashing steel. There's a lot of adjectives you'll find in the story. Riveted from the massive barbarian's hide enameled shield as his rippling right arm thrust forth, sending a steel shod blade to the hilt into the soldier's vital organs. Now, what about that sentence doesn't make sense? It's so easy to follow.
Massive amount of use of commas for one.
Oh yeah, these are long ass sentences. They anyway.
Are you sure I didn't write this when I was in fucking kindergarten?
I don't know. You ever gone by the pseudonym Jim Thighs?
Is it thighs? It looks like thieves.
It's Thighs. Last I checked, it's Thighs.
Somehow this man killed a shit ton of soldiers, even though he was talking to the one exasperated one.
I think he only killed the one in that sentence.
I know he only killed the one. Somebody knows how to use punctuation in other areas, but not where it counts.
All right. Continue.
The disemboweled mercenary crumpled from his saddle and sank to the clouded sward, sprinkling the parched dust with crimson droplets of escaping life fluid.
So he jizzed? This guy got stabbed and then just nutted as he fell to the sand.
Oh, you missed that part unless his jizz is bloody because it said crimson droplets.
Oh yeah. Well, he better get his prostate checked out. All right, continue.
Enthused barbarians swiveled about.
Swilveled, actually.
Swiveled. I don't even know what he's supposed to be doing here if he's swiveling.
He's spinning about like he's turning around.
His shock of fiery red hair tossing robustly into the humid air currents as he faced the attack of the defeated soldier's fellow in arms. Isn't it fellows in arms, or is it just fellow in arms?
It's just the one, so it's a single fellow in arms.
Right. No, yeah, you got the right. Damn you, barbarian! Shrieked. No, wait, no. Damn you, barbarian! Yeah, that's better. Shrieked the soldier as he observed his comrade in death. A gleaming scimitar smote a heavy blow against the renegade's spiked helmet, bringing a heavy cloud over the Encordians. Misting brain.
Ecordian. No, there's no N. Yeah. Ecordian. It's one of the fucking. It's where Grigner's from, I guess. Ecordia.
I thought he was from Norgia. Whatever.
No,
whatever.
The soldiers are from Norgolia. Grigner's from Ecordia. Clearly.
He's from Accordion. I'm sorry. I'm calling it Accordion.
Yes, he is an accordion. Let it be known. Our barbarian is an accordion.
No, he's a poker barbarian from the land of Accordion.
Yeah, exactly.
Shaking off the effects of the pounding blow to his head, Grigner brought down his scarlet streaking edge against the soldier's crudely forged hauberk. Clanging harmlessly, I need to read. clinging harmlessly to the left side of his opponent. The soldier instead
Whinnied.
whinnied.
Yes, like a horse.
Whinnied. I've actually never seen that word.
Well, now you have.
Whinnied as he directed the horse back from the driving blade of the barbarian. Grigner leashed his mount forward as the hoarsely piercing battle cry of his wilderness-bred race resounded from his grinding lungs.
Basically, he just like what? Just
he screamed.
Yeah,
he reed.
Yeah. Barbarian Mauer, ring!
Tries to fuck out of the horse. Twirling blade bounced harmlessly from the mighty thief's buckler as his rolling right arm clept upward, sending a foot of blinding steel ripping through the Cimmerian's exposed gullet. A gasping gurgle from the soldier's writhing mouth as he tumbled to the golden sand at his feet and wormed agonizingly into his deathbed. Oh, night-night.
Yeah.
Grigner's emerald green orbs glared lustfully.
Orbs.
Lustfully at the wallowing soldier. Oh, we're getting a little.
He's getting turned on by the guy he just murdered.
We're getting a little degenerate here.
Oh, it's gonna get worse.
Oh God!
Yeah.
Before his chestnut swirled mound, his scowling voice reverberated over the dying form in a tone of mocking mirth. You city-bred dog should learn not to antagonize your better. Reining from his weary mount ahead, Grigner is no longer a person anymore. He's just a thing. Resumed his journey to the
Norgolian, but now there's an E.
No, there's an E there. So it's going to be something else.
Neregalian?
Yeah, we'll go with that. Negarilan, city of Gorzam. Hoping to discover wine, women, and adventure to boil the wild blood coursing through his savage veins. You still got one soldier left, dude. You got some work to do.
No, he got the two. There was only two, I guess. Or wait.
Did he?
Hold on. Does it say? No, yeah, three heaving mounts. I think he only killed two.
When the fuck did he kill the third one?
I don't know. Look, this book is shit. Continue.
You know what? Grigner is a real Chad here. He killed him.
Yeah.
The trick to no, he's not going to Gorgzam anymore. He's going to Gorgzam.
Yeah, Gorzam.
Was forced upon. Yeah, now it's Gorgzam. Was forced upon Grigner when the soldiers of Kryn were leashed upon him by a faithless concubine he had wooed. All these fucking places. His scandalous activities through the Cimmerian city had unleashed throngs of havoc and uproar among its refined
patricians.
There you go. Leading them to take a heavy reward over his head. He had barely managed to escape through the back entrance of the inn he had been guzzling in, as a squad of soldiers touched upon him. Traveling back.
Pounced upon him, like pounced.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, pounced. What did I say?
I think he said tunched.
Either one of those don't sound whatever.
Yeah.
Are we going back in time? Is he remembering his time?
Yeah, he's remembering why he's going to Gorzam or Gorzam.
So he wants to go back after he just got ambushed?
No. This was in the city of Kryn. He was run out of Kryn.
Oh, okay. Yeah. He's going to Gorzam.
Because he was run out of Kryn, yeah.
After spilling a spout of blood from the leader of the mercenaries as he dismembered one of the officer's arms, he retreated to his mount to make way towards Gorzam, rumored to contain hordes of plunder and many wenches for any man who has the backbone to wrest them away. All right.
End of chapter 1.
Oh, God, that's what he... Who the fuck is this man at the bottom?
What?
Just scroll down a little bit.
Oh, yeah, that. Yeah, there are illustrations.
Is that Emperor Ming with a wonderful head of hair?
And no eyes.
No eyes, yep.
Yeah,
oh,
they took my eyes.
Hey, wonderful hair has a price.
Yeah. All right. Chapter 2. Arriving after dusk in Gorzom, Grigner descended down a dismal alley, reining his horse before a beaten tavern. The red-haired giant strode into the dimly lit hostelry, reeking of foul odors and cheap wine. The air was heavy with choking fumes spewing from smoldering torches, one word, no space, encased within the dens, one word, again, earthen-packed walls. Tables were clustered with groups of drunken thieves and cutthroats, tossing dice or making love to willing prostitutes. Eyeing a slender female crouched alone at a nearby bench, Grigner advanced wishing to wholesomely occupy his time. He's gonna wholesomely occupy her. I laughed. Your go from the flickering torches.
The flickering torches cast weird shafts of luminescence, dancing over the half-naked harlot of his choice. Her stringy orchid twines of hair swaying gracefully over the lithe opaque nose as she
Lithe.
raised a.
Lithe.
Mm.
That's a real word.
I know it is. Boy, I think I found Grigner, by the way, while you were. Here, would you like to see this, man? You can share it later on.
What you mean, like in one of these illustrations?
It's a illustration based off of people of whatever descriptions they gave of him.
Sure, let's see it.
See if I can.
I'll add it to the background while we're reading.
Yeah, here you go. This man gets all the puss.
Oh my god! What the fuck?
Looks more like a woman.
Oh my god,
really
that's
ugly woman.
horrible. Okay, you keep reading. I gotta.
Yeah. As she raised a half-drained mug to her pale red lips, glancing upward, the alluring complexion noted the stalwart giant as he rapidly approached. Oh, this man is just running over to her. Can't wait.
I imagine he's power walking.
It's still fucking noticeable in the bar.
Oh yeah, he's gonna get
He's like
that puss.
He's like me trying to get to the one fucking bench press that's open in the gym before the little Asian lady decides to use it to just lift the bar like 3 times. A faint glimmer a faint glimmer from the pair of deep blue ovals of the amorous female as she motioned towards Grigner, enticing him to join her. The barbarian seated himself upon a stool at the wench's side, exposing her body naked save for a loincloth, brandishing a long steel broadsword, an iron spiraled battle helmet, and thick leather sandals to her unobstructed view. Well, then he actually has stuff on. That except this didn't really work, but whatever.
It's like saying I'm naked save for my shirt and pajama bottoms and underwear and glasses and my headset.
Thick winter coat, my Gorka suit, my fucking Baltimore Orioles baseball cap, my Timbs, gotta wear my Timbs, my gloves, my second pair of gloves, and my my Oakley glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, I'm pretty much naked.
Yeah.
I'm not doing a chick voice. Not gonna work.
Well, you still gotta read it, so.
Oh yeah, I know, but that's I guess the one thing I voice here, unless it's like a really ugly chick.
It really doesn't matter.
I was doing voices for the other ones. Thou hast need to occupy your time, what? Thou hast need to occupy your time, barbarian? Question the female?
Yeah, question? With the fucking question mark?
No,
Did she? I'm not sure.
One more time here. Thou hast need to occupy your time, barbarian. Question the female?
It's funny because, like, the dialogue, it doesn't have a punctuation, so it's phrased like a sentence. So she's saying, thou hast need to occupy your time, barbarian. And then the book is, like, saying, did she question him? Or was she just stating the obvious?
Sure that's what she wants, or the thought?
Oh man, this is like Fight Club with the untrustful narrator.
Only if something worth offering is within my reach, stated. What a Chad, stated Grigner, as his hands crept to embrace the tempting female, who welcomed them with open willingness. Oh, okay, he's got consent.
Well, she
Good.
is a prostitute, so
That's important nowadays, Bucket. That's important. It's current year, fuck. From where do you come, barbarian? And by what are you called? Oh,
below
I'm
the
sorry.
waist.
I'm sorry, I messed that up here. From where do you come, barbarian, and by what called? Gasped the complying wench as Grigner smothered her lips with the blazing touch of his flaming mouth.
Oh, his mouth's on
Wow.
fire. Should have eaten the cookie.
Yep. No, no. This dude doesn't use fucking chapstick. He just smothers habanero sauce over his lips. He's taking a spicy, passionate moment, literally.
It's a fun surprise for when you go down on a woman. The habanero.
I'm actually allergic. Well, the engrossed Titan ignored the queries of the inquisitive female. Wow, we're really moving into some. You're really moving fast in this story.
It gets better.
This is a horny motherfucker. Pulling her towards him and crushing her sagging nipples to his yearning chest. How old is this person?
Turns out the prostitute was in her late 80s.
Oh, really?
I sagging nipple, not sagging breasts, sagging nipples. She's got B-cup tits, but like nipples down to her knees.
Well, no, all right. To be fair here, this is something This is something my wife has taught me here. If you don't have the proper support here, they do sag. Apparently, this woman's wearing like chainmail bras here, so it's just causing her fucking tits to sag.
No, not sagging breasts, sagging nipples. The breasts aren't sagging, the nipples are.
Oh, that's.
Yeah. Again, nipples down to the knees.
This man is into some weird stuff. Without struggling, she gave in, winding her soft arms around the harshly bronzed hide of Grigner, corded shoulder blades. Yeah, okay. As his calloused hands caressed her firm, protruding busts, minus the sagging nipples.
Yeah.
You make love well, wench. Dude, you haven't done anything. You're on second base.
I just love the fucking line, you make love well, wench, after just kissing her.
The virgin to boot.
Yeah.
Admitted Grigner. Oh, he admits this.
Yes.
He makes love well.
He cannot hide the fact that she makes love well.
It's not like I like you anything.
I don't like you, lady. You're just pretty as all. Gosh.
Admitted Grigner as he reached for the vessel of potent wine. Okay, I saw vessel at first, and I thought, okay, are we going from second base to just home plate now, or?
Well, she is a prostitute.
All right, vessel of potent wine. His charge had been quaffing. Is quaffing? Yeah, it's quaffing.
Yeah, that's a real word.
A flying foot caught the mug Grigner had taken hold of, sending its blood-red contents slushing over a flickering crescent, leashing tongues of bright orange flames to the foot-trodden floor. Okay, cool. Remove yourself, sirrah. The wench belongs to me. Blabbered let's take that. Remove yourself, sirrah. The wench belongs to me. Blabbered a drunken soldier, too far consumed by the influences of his virile brew.
Virile brew.
Virile. No, it's also virile. I've heard both.
Whatever.
Virile. We'll do virile. It's a lot easier. Yeah. Virile brew. Take note of the superior size of his adversary. Grigner lithely bounded. No, it's lithely in this case.
No, you're right. Lithely.
Lithely bounded from the. I know what you're thinking.
Yeah.
This man's wrong with his grammar, and you'd be right.
Yeah, no,
But
dude.
whatever.
Like I said, there are so many typos in here.
I don't even know how to imagine lithely bounded.
Lithely isn't a fucking word. Continue.
All right, forgetting lithely is here. I don't know why he's bounding.
I just imagine he's like springing up out of the chair to his feet, like he's
See him
fucking Stretch
flopping
Armstrong, just bouncing out.
Yeah, that's another way to put it. Grigner lithely bounded from the startled female. So he just throws the bitch down.
Yeah.
His face lit up to an ashen red ferocity. I want to check what color ash is.
Yeah.
And eyes locked in a searing feral blaze towards the sway. So, to hell with you, braggart! Bellowed the angered accordion. Well, yep,
Yeah.
that's what I said I was going to go with.
Yep.
The angered accordion, as he hefted his finely honed broadsword. The staggering soldier clumsily reached towards the pommel of his dangling sword, but before his hands even touched the oaken hilt, a silvered flash was slicing the heavy air. Yep, that was the sound of the sword.
Yeah.
The thews of the savage lashing right arm bulged from the glistening, again describing his fucking muscles.
Oh yeah.
From the glistening bronze hide, as his blade bit deeply into the soldier's neck, lopping off the confused head of the senseless tormentor.
Loping off the confused head.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah. So he cut his head off, like he cut through his neck, and then his head like sprung fucking bunny feet and just hopped away.
A nausea-eating thud. The several oval toppled. The severed oval. Okay, there we go. The severed oval toppled to the floor as the segregated torso of Grigner's bovine antagonist swayed. He killed a cow.
Yeah, he killed a cow.
This makes one of those image searches on Google make a lot more sense now.
Oh yeah.
There was just like a weird. Right, so I had like Grigner the Barbarian, and there was like a picture of a cow with a helmet. Now I get it. Then collapsed in a pool of swirled crimson. In confusion, the soldiers' fellows confronted Grigner with unsheathed cutlasses, directed toward the latter's scowling makeup. Hate that sentence. The slut should have picked his quarry more carefully, roared the victor in a mocking baritone growl as he wiped his dripping blade on a prostrate form and returned it to his scabbard.
Yeah.
Then the fool should have shown more prudence. However, you shall rue your actions while rotting in the pits, stated one of the sprawled soldier's comrades. Grigner's hand began to remove his blade from its leather housing, but retarded the motion in the faces and the oh god, fucking okay, your turn. I'm such a child.
All right. Well, you look for that image you're talking about of the cow wearing the helmet. All right, where were we? It's retarded. Okay. Grigner's hand began to remove his blade from its leather housing, but retarded the motion in face of the blades waving before his face. Dismiss your hand from the hilt, barbarian, or you shall find a foot of steel sheathed in your gizzard. Oh. Real quick, I gotta add this to the fucking video, because this is amazing. Fucking Christ. This is... I'm telling you, man, this shit's gold.
Yeah. This man write anything else?
I hope not.
Not if it's as bad as this.
Again, this is just like... I don't even know where this came from, but I'm adding this over right here. Yep. Okay. Back to the story. Right. Grigner weighed his position, observing his plight, whereupon he took the soldier's advice as the only logical choice. To attempt to hack his way from his present predicament could only warrant certain death. He was of no mind to bring upon his own demise if an alternate path presented itself. The will to necessitate his life forced him to yield to the superior force in hopes of a moment of carelessness later upon the part of his captors, in which he could effect a more plausible means of escape. Okay, few things. One, that was three sentences, all saying the same thing. No,
Yeah, really.
that was two sentences conveying the ideas that he needs to surrender or he'll die, and he'll wait for a better time to escape. And then a third sentence conveying both of those ideas at the same time. Secondly, Grigner is very verbose in his head.
Well, he's OCD. He's got to confirm everything like 3 times.
I think he's autistic. He's a barbarian. Like he's smart in his head, but he's not good at conveying that. So he's a barbarian.
He's got to take his sword out of his sheath like 4 times before he can actually kill anybody.
Yeah. All right.
2, 3, 4. Okay, we're good, guys.
Yeah. You may steady your arms. I will go without a struggle. Your decision is a wise one, yet perhaps you would have been better off had you forced death. The soldier's mouth wrinkled to a sadistic grin of knowing mirth as he prodded his prisoner on with his sword point. After an indiscriminate period of marching through slinking alleyways and dim moonlighted, not moonlit, streets, the procession confronted a massive... I'm not even sure. Seraglio? I'm looking this up. This is an actual word.
That word.
Sereo. Sereo, noun, the women's apartments in an Ottoman palace, like where the harem is stored.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's outside the royal whorehouse here. Where was I? I completely lost my place now. After an indiscriminate period of marching through slinking alleyways, blah, 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 the palace area was surrounded by an iron grating with a lush garden upon all sides. The group was admitted through the gilded gateway, and Grigner was led along, one word, a stone pathway bordered by plush vegetation, lustfully enhanced by the moon's shimmering rays. Grigner's going to fuck a plant. Upon reaching the palace, the group was granted entrance, and after several minutes of explanation, led through several winding corridors to a richly draped chamber. Confronting the group was a short, stocky man seated upon a, one word, golden throne. Tapestries of richly draped regal blue silk covered all walls of the chamber, while the steps leading to the throne were plated with sparkling white ivory. The man
Oh my
upon the
God.
throne... The man upon the throne had a naked wench seated at each of his arms, and a trusted advisor seated in back of him. Seated in back of... What the fuck does that mean?
The wench was seated in the back of him?
No, his advisor was... Okay, either his throne is like a double throne, where like the back of his connects to the back of a second one, and his advisor is sitting behind him, or the guy is sitting on the advisor's lap. I like the second one. At each...
Actually, I kind of have in mind like the throne setup from like Skyrim. You know, at the what are those rulers called again? The
Jarl?
Yeah, the Jarls. Some of them have like mini thrones like next to the Jarl's throne.
Yeah, I guess, but it says seated in back of him. So what? Are they sitting in a chair behind the throne?
I think it's kind of like that. It's just slightly slightly behind the Jarl's throne here.
I don't know. From the way I'm imagining it like the chair is literally directly behind the throne.
No, I don't. All right, he's describing it that way, but I don't think it's supposed to be that way. I think
Well,
he's trying to show, like,
if in your description the image that comes to your reader's mind is different from what you're trying to convey, you fucked up.
oh yeah.
Continuing.
Well, I think we already understood that.
Yeah. Continuing. At each corner of the chamber, a guard stood at attention, with upraised pikes supported in their hands, golden chainmail adorning their torsos, and barred helmets emitting scarlet plumes enshrouding their heads. So the helmets are puffing out gas? What? No, emitting. Whatever. The man rose from his throne to the dais surrounding it. His plush turquoise robe dangled loosely from his chunky frame. The, the soldiers surrounding Grigner fell to their knees with heads bowed to the stone masonry of the floor in fearful dignity to their sovereign, liege.
And cracked their skulls against the floor because they hit it hard.
Explain the purpose of this intrusion upon my chateau. Your serenity, resplendent in noble grandeur, we have brought this yokel before you. The soldier gestured toward Grigner. In parentheses, the soldier gestured toward Grigner. For the redress of your all-knowing wisdom.
Oh, no. You gotta. The soldier's saying that like he's whispering, to another soldier or some shit like that. That's how it's written. That's how it's written.
All right, so your serenity, resplendent in noble grandeur, we have brought this yokel before you.
Oh, and that ain't serenity either.
Yes, sirenity. The soldier gestured toward Grigner. For the redress of your all-knowing wisdom in judgment regarding his fate. Down on your knees, lout, and pay proper homage to your sovereign, commanded the pudgy noble of Grigner. By the surly beard of Mrifk, Grigner kneels to no man, scowled the massive barbarian. You dare to deal this blasphemous act to me? You are indeed brave, stranger, yet your valor smacks of foolishness. I find you to be the only fool, sitting upon your pompous throne, enhancing the rolling flabs of your belly in the midst of your elaborate luxury and... Pause. The soldier standing at Grigner's side smote him heavily in the face with the flat of his sword, cutting short the harsh words and knocking his battered helmet to the masonry with an echo-ing clang. The paunchy noble's sagging round face flushed suddenly pale, then pastily lit up to a lustrous cherry-red radiance. Did, the fuck, did he shit himself or something? Why'd he go pale? His lips trembled with malicious rage while emitting a muffled, sibilant gibberish. So try and imagine this. This fat noble went pale, then like fucking went red in the face, going...
I had to think that he was like holding a fart up to the point where the soldier did this thing, and he just lets it loose. But then he realized, no, he's paying attention, so he just hits a cherry red, like, yeah, I got away with it.
Yes, I farted and they didn't even notice. His sagging flabs rolled like a tub of upset jelly, then compressed as he sucked in his goat in an attempt to conceal his softness. Fuck, I laughed. All right, your go.
Sketch does not match this.
No.
I'm thinking of movie.
I think the sketch is supposed to be the advisor.
Oh wow, Ming the Merciless really
Yeah.
really went down in the world.
We've made that joke. Your go from the prince. Also, he's a prince now, not a noble. He got a promotion.
I mean, well, no, Prince is still noble.
Well, there's a difference between a noble and a prince. I mean, princes are nobility, but you don't refer to them as noble. You refer to them as prince.
That's
See what I mean?
Yeah. Oh fuck. The prince regained his stature, then spoke to the soldier. Oh, you're right.
Yeah,
he's just talking to fucking stones now.
Yeah.
The prince regained. Oh no, he regained his. Oh, he found his statue.
Yeah.
Well, good for him.
Yeah.
Then spoke to the soldiers surrounding Grigner, his face conforming to an ugly expression of sadistic humor. Take this uncouth heathen from to the vault of misery, and be sure that his agonies are long and drawn out before death can release him. Like, yeah, Grim Reaper.
Mm.
As you wish, sire. Your command shall be heeded immediately.
What a sarcastic guard.
That's how he reads sire, like that.
Oh, of course, your highness. Oh.
The way he's writing, like how these guards are responding to their prince here, I have to think like these guys are just sick of this fat fucker.
I think it's just your reading of this. I don't really get that.
And that's how I want them to be portrayed. They're just sick of this fat fuck all day, just dicking around, fucking whores and eating food while they're taking out these weird ginger barbarians.
Yeah. All right, continue.
Wait. Is this What was that fucking show? Grognak the Barbarian?
That was the comic series from Fallout.
Grognak. Oh my god. And it's gonna fucking. Korgoth. There you go. Korgoth.
Korgoth?
This, alright, minus that stupid fight at the beginning here. This is the beginning to that Adult Swim pilot, Korgoth. When you get a chance, watch Korgoth the Barbarian. It is fucking hilarious.
Korgoth of Barbaria?
Yes.
Ah.
This is the beginning of it.
He got
I guarantee. All right.
accosted for trying to fuck a prostitute.
Well, they get into a bar fight and there's prostitutes involved here, but
Okay.
I'm calling it right now. The what's his face is gonna get Grigner to do a thing for him.
Korgoth of Barbaria, the first and only episode. What a fucking masterpiece. And the top comment is best cartoon ever not made.
Really. Watch it when you get a chance. But
I
all
will.
right.
But for now.
The advisors seated in the back of the noble slowly rose and advanced to the side of his master, motioning the wenches seated at his sides to remove themselves.
Again,
remove thy thoughts.
behind him.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
So he's just sitting behind this fat fuck.
Yeah, there's like the throne in like the center of the room, like near the back, but not up against the wall. And then, but like actually up against the wall behind it is a little chair for the advisor.
Lowered his head, whispered to Eminent. Oh, I'm sorry, in the sentence. Okay, Eminence, the punishment you have decreed.
The punishment.
Oh God, yeah. Eminence, the punishment you have decreed will cause much misery to this scum. Yet it will only last a short time. Then release him to a land beyond the suffering of the human body. Why not mellow him in one of these subterranean vaults for a few days? Then send him to a life labor in one of your buried mines.
As opposed to an above ground mine?
Well, hold up here. If it's buried, then how are they fucking mining?
Yeah. I guess what he means is, it's an underground mine, but there's no above ground mines. That would be an excavation.
Well, the advisor apologizes here. That the fucking author here is an idiot.
Yeah. Everything has to have an adjective. Everything in this goddamn story has to be prefixed with an adjective.
To one such as he, a life spent. And everything has to have a fucking comma after it, too.
Yeah.
To one such as he, a life spent in confinement of the Stygian pits will be an infinitely more appropriate and lasting torture.
Okay, the commas I can excuse, personally, just because it reflects sort of my own writing style, and that I use them to sort of break up the flow of the sentence.
This doesn't break up the flow of the sentence, or
well,
not
no,
at least in a good way.
Like what it is like to one such as he, pause, a life, like it instigates it proposes a pause. So it's not to one such as he a life, it's to one such as he a life. But yeah, no, this story's fucking awful. I'm not trying to defend his writing.
Commas?
What?
Oh my god, you have too many commas in your fucking story. You need less commas, Bucket. Stop using commas.
Look, it's to break up the flow.
Stop using commas. Stop using them.
Fuck you! I respect the Oxford comma.
No more commas.
What? Fuck you. Look, whatever. We're not here to dig on my book. We're here to dig on this guy's.
Okay. The noble cupped his double chin.
Speak
in
up.
The folds of.
Your mic's kind of like dying out.
The noble cupped his drooping double chin in the folds of his brimming palm.
Briming.
No, it's still brimming.
No, it's one M. Briming.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be like it wouldn't be an enunciated I like that here because we don't know if there's an E or not. It's brimming. It's just the wrong brimming.
Okay, continue.
Unless is briming an actual word?
I don't think so. I think this was just a typo of brimming. So it would be more apropos to say briming.
Well, no, if there's an actual word as brime, then I'm going to pronounce it briming. But no, I
Brine.
don't count urban. I don't count Urban Dictionary, so never mind.
Uh, Apparently, it's a Scotch form of brine.
Oh, then we'll say briming. Okay,
Yep.
that's thank you. Thanks to my ancestors.
Yeah.
His briming poem, meditating for a moment upon the rationality of the counselor's words. I'm sorry, the counselor's words. The words own something.
The
Not really.
counselor's word is, I believe.
Either that or the words suddenly own fucking something.
Yeah, I guess.
Then raised his shaggy brown eyebrows and turned toward the advisor, eyes aglow.
I imagine he like actually lifted his eyebrows with his fingers. Like he just fucking cooked them up.
Oh, yep. There he is in all his glory down there.
Yep, there's the illustration. It looks like he's smoking a joint.
Does. As always, um, Agan. I'm
Agafind. Just say Agafind.
going to call you Aggie. As always, Aggie, you speak with great wisdom. Your words ring of great knowledge, creature of one such as he, saith the king. The noble turned toward the prisoner, with a noticeable shimmer reflecting in his frog-like eyes and his lips contorting to a green grin.
Okay,
I decided.
I just want to say right quick that that image of the noble or whatever, that's not like a that's not a drawing on a like it's not an actual drawing. It is a transparent sketch on a white background. Because I tried to put it on the video and it's just a line work and it's completely transparent. So I can't fucking show it, but it's retarded, trust me.
Onto like a blank copy on MS Paint or some shit like that.
I'm not gonna put in that much effort for this.
Okay. Anyway, where the fuck was I?
Just start always from as always, Agafind.
I'm not reading about Aggie. Oh, that's right. Frog-like eyes. I've decided to void my previous decree. The prisoner shall be removed to one of the palace's underground vaults. There he shall stay until I have decided that he has sufficiently simmered up, whereupon he is to be allowed to spend the remainder of his days at labor in one of my mines.
Something we kind of
Upon
passed
here,
over here. I just want to point out. Your words are in great knowledge concerning the natures of one such as he, saith the king. So he got another promotion. He went from noble to prince to king.
oh fuck yeah, he did.
Yeah. Can't argue that one. That one's completely different.
He's like he's like General Admiral Aladdin or whatever that was.
Yeah. Alright, continue.
Upon hearing this, Grigner realized that his fate would be far less merciful than death to one such as he, who is used to roaming the countryside at will. Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
A life of confinement would be more than his body and mind could stand up to. This type of life would be immeasurably worse than death. I shall never understand the ways of if your twisted civilization. I simply defend my honor, and and am condemned to a life of confinement by a pig who sits on his royal ass wooing whores and knows nothing of the affairs of the land he imagines to rule, lectures Grigner. Whereas the king, prince, regent, whatever the fuck, responds, pretty tough talk for somebody in execution distance.
Well, here's the thing. Fucking, you don't woo whores. That's the whole point. You don't have to woo them. They're just whores.
Fall in love with a whore.
Yeah, I guess that's what this guy's doing. I mean, that's why he's a shitty fucking noble prince king. It's because he woos whores. Anyway.
Enough of this. Away with the slut before I lose my control.
So Grigner's a slut now.
Hold me back, motherfucker. Seeing the peril of his position, Grigner searched for an opening. Crushing Prudence to the sward, he plowed into whatever. Plowed into the soldier at his left arm, taking hold of his sword, and bounding again. He's bounding
Yep.
to the dais supporting the prince. Nope, he got demoted
Yep.
before the startled guards could regain their composure. Aggie leaped. Aggie. Oh, yep, I left. Never mind. My own stupid joke made me laugh.
Yeah. Agafin leaped Grigner and his sire, but found a sword blade permeating the length of his ribs before he could loose his weapon. The counselor slumped to his knees as Grigner slid his crimson blade away, slid his crimson blade from Agafin's ribcage. The fat prince stood undulating in insurmountable fear before the edge of the fiery-maned comet, his flabs of jellied blubber pulsating to and fro in ripples of flowing terror. "Where is your wisdom and power now, your majesty?" growled Grigner. The prince went rigid as Grigner discerned from him. The prince went rigid as Grigner discerned him glazing over his shoulder. He swiveled to note the cause of the noble's attention, raised his sword over his head, and prepared to leash a vicious downward cleft, but fell short as the haft of a steel-rimmed pike clashed against his unguarded skull. Then blackness and solitude, silence enshrouding, and ever peaceful reigned supreme. How deep? "Before me, sirrah, before me as always. Ha 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 ha!" nobly cackled. That was a really oddly phrased laugh. Ha 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 ha.
What happened to him? He got killed. Grigner
no,
killed him?
No, Grigner killed the who's he what's it, the advisor.
Aggie.
And then he killed Aggie. And then a guard like whipped him in the back of the head with a pike.
Oh.
And then he went unconscious.
Apparently this man has a glass skull.
Yeah. Alright, so that's end chapter 2. Begin chapter 3. But before you do, I gotta take a piss. Try and fill space for a minute.
I kind of got to take a leak too, so I'll go do that.
I trust you were filling the dead air while I was gone. Hello?
Got back from the bathroom.
Oh, god damn it, you fucking dead air. Ugh.
You missed it?
I fucking, okay, I'm just asking, did you fill while I was gone?
Yes, they heard me taking a wiki
Okay.
because that makes good content.
Oh yeah.
Sound of me pissing my bladder out.
All right. Your go from chapter 3.
All right. Sorry, 3 and 3.5.
Just 3.
Well, no, why is 3 split up that way?
Okay, so 3 is about Grigner, 3.5 is about someone else, and then it jumps back to Grigner in 4. You'll
Still
see.
just be one, whatever.
You'll see.
Consciousness returned to Grigner in. I just
Stigmatic.
forgot the word. Yeah, there you go. Stigmatic pools as his mind gradually cleared of the cobwebs cluttering his inner recesses. That Stygian cloud of charcoal ebony remained.
Also, I just want to point out that he misspelled stigmatic. It's supposed to be an I, not a Y. Also,
Oh, then.
I don't even think that was the word he wanted.
I feel like Stygian here, or any use of it here, just doesn't really fit.
Stygian is a different thing, but okay, so stigma is a mark of disgrace associated with a particular circumstance, quality,
I know
or
what
person.
stigma.
Yeah.
I know what stigma is.
And then the plural of that is stigmata. And then stigmatic is like something is like I'll bring up the actual verbatim again. It was relating to a stigma or stigmas, in particular constituting or conveying a mark of disgrace. So, stigmatic pools. I don't even know. Continue.
In an incompatible shield of blackness, enhanced by the bleak absence of sound. Grigner's muddled brain reeled from the shock of the blow he had received to the base of his skull, because his tiny barbarian brain can't fathom the just not fucking with these people. Anyway,
Well, I mean, like when he got hit, his brain rattled around there like a fucking pinball.
Or he could just wear a helmet.
He was wearing one. It fell off.
Yeah, wasn't he wearing a fucking helmet?
It fell off, remember? The dude smacked him the first time and it fell off. Anyway, continuing.
Vince, leading to his predicament, low to their back to dickered with the notion. He dickered with the notion that he was dead and had descended or sunk, however it may be, to the shadowed land beyond the aperture of the grave.
The aperture.
Yep, the. But rejected this hypothesis when his memory sifted back within his grips. This was not the land of the dead. It was something infinitely more precarious. Yeah, I almost said precious. Precarious than anything the grave could offer. Death promised an infinity of peace, not the finite misery of an inactive life of confined torture, forever concealed from the life bearing. Dude, you're just sitting in the dark.
Yeah, I know. He's just morose.
Catch up in your sleep. From the life-bearing shafts of the beloved rising sun.
Never again. Never again will he be fucked by the great and glorious sun.
Missed that? Yeah, I did.
He will never be shafted by the sun.
Doesn't have the orb that had been before. The orb that had been before taken for granted, yet now cherished above all else, dude.
My sweet and glorious orb.
I want to go outside.
I miss my sun orb shafts.
Oh, now, Grigner, until you stop acting like a dick.
The man just wants his orb shafts. Come on.
He forever refused further glimpses of the snow-capped summits of the land of his birth, never again to witness the thrill of plundering unexplored lands before the crest of a bleeding horizon, and perhaps worst of all, the denial to ever again encompass the lustful excitement of caressing the naked curves of a body of a trim, yound wench. Yes,
He's
indeed.
he's been here for 3 minutes and already he's horny.
He's already, yeah, he's thinking about, well, technically, he didn't get it, even though he said the wench makes love good.
Yeah, there was no
He didn't actually
penetration.
make sense. Yeah.
Yeah, so he never got his rocks off. That explains it.
This was indeed one of the buried chasms of hell, concealed within the inner depths. Oh, I'm almost Kermiting here. The inner depths of the palace's despised interior, a fearful ebony chamber devised to drive the brinks of insanity, the minds of unfortunately condemned. Oh man,
Yeah, I know.
the minds of unfortunately condemned through the inept solitude, inept solitude of a limbo of listless, dreary silence.
End chapter 3. And I want to go over that last sentence once more. A fearful ebony chamber devised to drive to the brinks of insanity the minds of the unfortunately condemned through the inapt solitude of a limbo of listless, dreary silence. What the fucking fuck? That is the worst phrasing I've ever seen.
This really sounds like it was written by Kristen Winston Chandler.
Yeah. This is fucking awful. This honestly does read
honest and
like,
true.
this does honestly read like fucking Sonichu level fan fiction.
God, it does.
Anyway, on to chapter 3.5. Okay, look, I get it. This is a separate event happening at the same time, so it deserves its own chapter. But don't do the 3.5, you fucking bitch. This is chapter 4. Don't be
It's
pretentious.
the kind of shit they beat the fuck out of you in elementary school.
Yeah, you don't do half chapters! Whack! Anyway, a tightly rung elliptical circle or torches cast their wavering shafts prancing morbidly over the smooth surface of a rectangular, rigid altar. Expertly chiseled forms of grotesque gargoyles graced the oblique rim, protubrating the length of the grim orifice of death, staring forever ahead into nothingness, in complete ignorance of the bloody rites enacted in their presence. Okay, 1. Pretentious. 2. The grim orifice of death. That's a quote worth taking away. So this is the room where we fuck death in the ass, I guess. Brown flaking yep, in the ass. Brown flaking stains decorated the golden surface of the ridge surrounding the altar, which banked to
was the moment that Death and I became the best of friends.
which banked to a small slit at the lower right-hand corner of the altar. The slit stood above a crudely pounded pail, which had several silver mesh chalices hanging at its sides. Dangling at the rim of golden mallet. What?
If it's so dark in there, how does he see any of this?
No, well, hold the questions till the end of the chapter here. Dangling at the rim of golden mallet, the handle of which was engraved with images of twisted faces and groved at its far end with slots designed for a snug hand grip. The head of the mallet was slightly larger than a clenched fist and shaped into a smooth oval mass. Encircling the marble altar was a congregation of leering shaman. Not shaman, shaman, men, M-E-N. Eerie chants of a bygone age, originating unknown eons before the memory of man, were being uttered from the buried recesses of the acolytes' deep lings. Orange paint was smeared in generous globules over the top of the priests' wrinkled shaven scalps, while golden rings projected from the lobes of their pink ears. Ornate robes of luscious purple satin enclosed their bulging torsos, attached around their waists with silvered silk lashes, latched with ebony buckles in the shape of morose, misshaped skulls. Dangling around their necks were oval-fashioned medallions held by thin gold chains, featuring in their centers blood-red rubies which resembled crimson fetish eyeballs. Cushioning their bare feet were plush red felt slippers with pointed golden spikes projecting from their tips. Okay, look, You don't have to describe literally every article of clothing the characters are wearing, all right? It's not that important.
World building bucket.
I don't I don't think knowing that their plush red felt slippers have golden spikes on them is going to like do me any fucking good in my life.
Again,
Situated
how's he
in
seen any of this though?
Hold on, hold your questions. Situated in front of the altar and directly adjacent to the copper pail was a massive jade idol, a misshaped, hideous bust of the shaman's pagan deity. The shimmering green idol was placed in a sitting posture on an ornately carved golden throne raised upon a round, ivory plated dais, its bulging arms and webbed hands resting on the padded arms of the seat. Its head was entwined in golden snake-like coils hanging over its oblong ears, which tapered off to thin hollow points. Its nose was a bulging triangular mass, sunken in at its sides with gaping nostrils. Dramatic beneath the nostrils was a twisted, shaggy-lipped mouth, giving the impression of a slavering, sadistic grimace. At the foot of the heathen deity, a slender, pale-faced female, naked but for a golden jeweled harness enshrouding her huge outcropping breasts, supporting long silver laces which extended to her thigh, stood before the pearl-white field with noticeable shivers traveling up and down the length of her exquisitely molded body. That was all one fucking sentence! Her delicate lips trembled beneath soft, narrow hands as she attempted to conceal herself from the piercing stare of the ambivalent idol. Glaring directly down towards her was the stony, cycloptic face of the bloated deity. Gaping from its single obling socket was scintillating, many-faceted scarlet emerald, a brilliant gem seeming to possess a life all of its own. A priceless gleaming stone, capable of domineering the wealth of conquering empires. The Eye of Argon. Title drop. And end of chapter 3.5.
Dun, dun, dun.
So yes, to
Open heart
answer
mouth.
your question, I don't think Grigner's in the room. I think this is just cutting to a different room real quick.
That room.
Yeah, I don't know why. Alright, chapter 4, your go.
Oh boy.
Back to Grigner.
Lot shorter. Chapter 2 was just a fucking long ass chapter.
Oh yeah.
Alright, chapter 4. All knowledge of measuring time had escaped Grigner. When a person deprived of the sun, moon, and stars, he loses all conception of time. Did I even say that right? Loses?
Looses, I imagine.
Loses, yeah, it's
Like
loose.
to loose. I don't know.
He loses all conception of time. He does what? It doesn't matter. He don't even fucking know. Don't even know what he's fucking doing. Conception of time as he previously understood it. It seemed as if years had passed, if time were being measured by terms of misery and mental anguish. Holy shit, Gregor is an emo.
Yeah.
Yet he estimated that his stay had only been a few days in length. He had slept 3 times and had been fed 5 times since his awakening in the crypt. However, when the actions of the body are restricted, its needs are also affected. The need for nourishment and slumber are directly proportional to the function the body has performed. Meaning, you still need 8 hours of sleep every day, you fucking mongoloid.
No, but he
Meaning
means
that,
he means that you won't need to sleep as often.
I mean, what else are you gonna do? If I'm just sitting in the dark, I'm gonna sleep.
Fucking okay. Before we finish this paragraph here, I want to point out that I guess Grigner's a fucking biologist. Cause listen to his understanding of like human biology and anatomy.
Yeah, I thought he was just a fucking uncouth barbarian.
Yeah, but
He only knows the wilderness.
yeah, just listen to this. Like he goes into like, just keep reading. Just keep reading. It's ridiculous.
Let's see here. I guess he's a Mary Sue, meaning that when free and active, Grigner may become hungry every 6 hours and witness the desire for sleep every 15 hours. Whereas in his present condition, he may encounter the need for food every 10 hours and want the rest
The
every
want for
20
rest.
and one for rest, sorry, every 20 hours. All methods he had before depended upon were extinct in the dismal pit. Hence, he had been imprisoned for 10 minutes or 10 years. Hence, he may have been imprisoned for 10 minutes or 10 years. He did not know, resulting in a disheartened emotion deep within his being. The
Okay,
food,
I
if you
think I just want to say that I think he actually developed an actual reasonable sense of scaling time. Because as he
how
clearly knows, in his current condition, he only needs food every 10 hours, and he only needs to sleep every 20. So clearly, by using that method, knowing he slept 3 times, or he slept 5 times and been fed 3, he could figure out exactly how many, or no, he slept 3 times and has been fed 5 times. So using that method, he could figure out exactly how long he's been in the crypt. But no,
how,
he's just too busy moping.
how did he figure out though that he's been there for fucking? It's been like 15 hours before he needs food or whatever it was.
I don't know. I guess he's a biologist.
Is he just fucking counting seconds while he's down there?
No, he has no means of counting time. He said, but like he just knows that
He
when
just
you're
knows.
doing stuff, you eat every 6 hours, but when you're not doing stuff, you eat every 10. I guess.
Ugh, anyway, the food, if you can honor the moldering lumps of fetid mush to that extent,
Rude.
was was born to him by two oh ew giving him fetuses was born to him by two guards who opened a portal at the top of his enclosure and shoved it to him in wooden bowls, retrieving the food in and water bowls from water bowls from his previous meal at the same time, after which they threw back the bolts of the iron latch and returned to their other duties. Since deprived of all other means of nourishment, Grignard was impelled to eat the tainted slop in order to ward off the pangs of starvation. Though as he stuffed it in his mouth with his filthy fingers and struggled to force it down his throat, he imagined it was that which had spurned by the hounds stationed at various segments of the palace.
Basically, what he's saying is that he imagines that this is the food that the dogs refuse to eat.
Yeah. So many grammatical errors there.
So fucking over the top, Grigner is.
Anyway, there was little in the not baron, baron vault that could occupy his body or mind. He had paced about he had paced out the length and width of the enclosure time and time again, and tested every granite slab, which consisted the walls of the prison, in hopes of finding a hidden passage to freedom. All of which was to no avail, other than to keep him busy and distract his mind from wandering to thoughts of what he had believed was his future. He had memorized the number of strides from one end to the other end of the cell, and knew the exact number of slabs which made up the bleak dungeon. Numerous schemes, numerous schemes were introduced and alternatively discarded in turn as
Suckered.
they succored
Suckered.
to no, it's succored.
Succored? Are you
Yeah,
certain?
yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I'm looking this up. Okay,
It's not
so
suckered.
succor is assistance and support in times of hardship and distress. Succored is not a word. Yeah, it's fucking stupid. Just continue.
No, I think you mean. Oh no, suck. No, there's a succor.
Yeah, succor.
Give assistance or aid to.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Succor.
So it's so he spelled it right.
Yes, except for the fact that there is no succored. There's no past tense. It's dumb. Just continue.
Whatever. All right.
Yeah.
I don't feel like looking up a thesaurus here.
It's not worth it. Though, funny you mentioned that. I think when Jim Thies was writing this, he had a thesaurus at his side the entire time, and he used it
So,
very liberally.
forged to unravel to him no means of escape which stood the slightest chance of success. Nope. Success.
Sukes, yes.
No, suck ass. All right, it's suck ass.
Suck
It's
ass.
suck ass.
It's suck ass. Continue.
Anguish continued to mount. Oh, well,
Nah,
all right.
it wasn't at the
Nah.
story. It was
Yeah,
just our
it was a
riffing.
stupid joke.
Yeah, continue.
Anguish continued to mount as his means of occupation were rapidly exhausted. Suddenly, without no time,
Without no time, I
ain't got no time for this.
Gregner the Alabama barbarian. Yeah.
Oh, here comes a word. He was routed. That oh fuck.
He wasrated. He was routed. One word, no space. So he wasrated.
Not a word. So yeah, I think it's supposed to be was routed.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. He wasrated.
Wow. Yeah, he was He was. Oh my god. Fuck.
Wasrated.
He done a thing from his contemplations as he detected a faint scratching sound at the end of the crypt opposite to him. Sound seemed to be caused by something trying to scrape away the granite blocks the floor of the enclosure consisted of. The sandy scratching of something like an animal's claws. Grigner gradually groped his. Oh shit, he's groping the stele now. He's that fucking horny. Gradually groped his way to the other end of the vault carefully, feeling his way along with his hands ahead of him. I thought he knew the distance.
Yeah, but I guess not.
I mean, he should know by now there's like nothing in there except for him. Within a few inches of the wall, a loud penetrating squeal and scampering of small padded feet reverberated from the wall of the roughly hewn chamber. A rat's gonna get him out.
Yep.
He found his way out because of a rat. Grigner, well, I guess that's okay.
He's being attacked by a rat.
Grigner, fuck. Okay. Yep, that's actually making me laugh. That's
Just
getting attacked by a rat.
Oh, God, what a great barbarian he is. The next fucking Conan. All right. So my go then. All right. Grigner threw his hands up to shield his face and flung himself backwards upon his buttocks. A fuzzy form bounded to his hairy chest, burying its talons in his flesh while gnashing toward his throat with its grinding white teeth, its sour, fetid breath scorching the squirming barbarian's dilating nostrils. Grigner grappled with the lashing flexor muscles of the repugnant body of a gargantuan brown-hided rat, striving to hold its razor teeth from his juicy jugular, as its beady gray organs of sight. Organs of sight! Fuck you, Jim Thighs. Glazed into the flaring emeralds of its prey. Taking hold of the rodent around its lean, growling stomach with both hands, Grigner pried it from his crimson-red breast, removing small patches of flayed flesh from his chest in the motion between the squalid black claws of the starving beast. Holding the rodent at arm's length, he cupped his right hand over its frothing face, contracting his fingers into a vice-like fist over the quivering head. Retaining his grips on the rat, Grigner flexed his outstretched arms while slowly twisting his right hand clockwise and his left hand counterclockwise motion. The rodent let out a tortured squall, drawing scarlet as it violently dug its foam-flecked fangs into the barbarian's sweating palms, causing his face to contort to an ugly grimace as he cursed beneath his breath. With a loud crack, the rodent's head parted from its squirming torso, sending out a sprinkling shower of crimson gore and trailing a slimy string of disjointed vertebrae, snapped trachea, esophagus, and jugular, disjointed hyoid bone, Moreau's purple stretched hide, and blood-seared muscles. So, like I was saying, he's a fucking biologist. He knew all the parts of the rat that he just murdered.
Oh, the rest dissected in science class.
Yeah. Flinging the broken body to the floor, Grigner shook his blood-streaked hands and wiped them against his thigh until dry. Wiped them against his gym thighs, more like. Then wiped the blood that had showered his face and from his eyes. Again sitting himself upon the jagged floor, he prepared to once more revamp his glum meditations. He told himself that as long as he still breathed the gust of life through his lungs, hope was not lost. He told himself this, but found it hard to comprehend in his gloomy surroundings. Yet he was still alive, his bulging sinews at their peak of marvel, his struggling mind floating in a miral of the impressed excellence of thought. Impressed excellence of thought. Plot after plot sifted through his mind in energetic contemplations. Then it hit him. Minutes may have passed in silent thought, or days, he could not tell, but he stumbled at last upon a plan that he considered as holding a slight margin of plausibility. He might die in the attempt, but he knew he would not submit without a final bloody struggle. It was not a foolproof plan, yet it built up a store of renewed vortexed energy in his overwrought soul, one word. Though he might perish in the execution of the escape, he would still be escaping the life of infinite torture in store for him. Either he would still cheat the gloating prince of the succored revenge his sadistic mind craved so dearly. The guards would soon come to bear him off to the prince's buried mines of dread, as opposed to the above-ground mines, giving him the sought-after opportunity to execute his newly formulated plan. Groping his way along the rough floor, Grigner finally found his tool in a pool of congealed gore, the carcass of the decapitated rodent, the tool that the very filth he had been sentenced to spawned. When the time came for action, he would have to be prepared, so he set himself to rending the sticky hulk in grim silence, searching by the touch of his fingertips for the lever to freedom. End chapter 4, and oh god, it hurts.
Right. On to chapter 5.
Yep.
Up to the altar and be done with it, wench, ordered a fidgeting shaman. I got it right. As he gave the female a grim stare accompanied by the wrinkling of his lips to a mirthful grin of delight.
Everything
So,
is always a
no.
mirthful something of delight.
Mirth, yes, it goes well with fantasy.
Yes.
The girl burst into a slow, steady whimper, stooping shakily to her knees and cringing woefully. From the priest with both arms wound snake-like around the bulging JJ chin, rising before her scantily attired figure. What is going on?
I'm starting to cringe woefully from the story.
What is she doing
this
here?
this is happening in the room that was described in chapter 3 and a half.
You know what I'm picturing in my head right now? I'm picturing this half-naked chick. Her arms somehow have stretched Armstrong to the point where they're like coiled around each other, snake-like. So they're all stuck around each other, and they're going forward to the priest here to touch his face, and he's like, "No, please don't do that."
I think what it is that she's got her arms wrapped around the jade statue that was described in chapter 3 and a half.
I'm seeing Stretch Armstrong arms.
Okay.
Her voice was redly inflamed from the salty flow of tears spouting from her glassy, dilated eyeballs. Oh, she's high. With short, heavy footfalls, the priest approached the female, his piercing stare never wavering from her quivering young countenance.
You got
Halting
it right.
halting before the terrified girl, he projected his arm outward and motion. Yeah, I bet he projected. And motioned her to arise with an upward movement of his hand. The girl's whimpering increased slightly, and she sunk closer to the floor rather than arising. Flickering torches outlined her trim build with a weird ornate glow. Again with the descriptions, as it cast a ghostly shadow dancing in horrid waves of splendor over smoothly worn whiteness of marble-hewn altar. The shaman's lips curled back farther, exposing a set of blackened, decayed molars, with trans- which transformed his slovenly grin into a wide, greasing arc of sadistic mirth, and alternately interposed into the female a strong sensation of stomach-curdling nausea.
Look, I'll tell you what the
Have
root of Jim Thai's problem here is. He's it's like fucking what's the guy? The guy who wrote Draco. What's his name? Uh I cannot remember for the life of me right now. He wrote Orgasm Machine and
not
the
familiar with that.
the screen story for Steven Spielberg's AI. What's his name? It's right on the tip of my tongue. I'm looking this up. Okay, I look up Draco and it's fucking the first thing that comes up is the stupid fucking Harry Potter kid.
No, I thought you were talking about.
Oh, there's a fucking entry for this guy in the 40k wiki. So yeah, it is canon, and that makes me violently upset.
Oh, that fucking Draco.
Ian Watson, that's it. Yeah, so Ian Watson, right? He's got the same. Jim Thies has the same problem that Ian Watson has in that he's just he has like his first draft where he just writes it plainly, and then he goes through and for every other word he ducks into the thesaurus to find an equivalent word, whether or not it actually fits thematically or helps you understand what's happening. He's just trying to flex his writing skill here, but it's fucking horrible to read.
Oh, weird flex, but okay.
Fuck you.
Ah. All right,
Have it as you
we?
will.
Yep, there we go. Have it as you will. Female, gloated the enhanced priest. Oh shit, he's an enhanced
He's
cyborg.
leveled up.
No, he's a priest of the Mechanicus. He's gotta fuck that toaster. As he bent over the waist, projecting his ape-like arms. What the fuck?
You laughed.
I know I did.
He's just got
Description
ape
of this
arms.
man.
I'm just imagining some like really scrawny dude with just huge monkey arms, like just fucking gorilla arms.
I need to pause real quick. I need to go turn off the air.
All right. Yeah, just some scrawny little shaman dude with fucking gorilla
Not even
arms.
scrawny. I'm just seeing this man with like fucking orangutan style arms.
Yeah. He doesn't walk to get around. He just kind of
he's a literal knuckle dragger.
Yeah, he does the thing where he just like fucking climbs around on his arms. Yeah. All right.
We do want to be like you.
Yeah. Have it as you will, female, gloated the enhanced priest as he bent over at the waist, projecting his ape-like arms forward, and clasped the female's slender arms with his hairy round fists. With an inward surge of his biceps, he harshly jerked the trembling girl to her feet, and smothered her salty wet cheeks with the moldy touch of his decrepit, dull red lips. The vile stench of the shaman's hot... Fuck! Here we go. You there? Will? Oh fuck, he's gone. Oh no! I'll have to read it by myself. Did he say hello? Did fucking... He said he was gonna go close his door or turn off the air, but how long is that taking? God damn. Okay, well, while we're waiting for him, I'm just gonna rag on this book more. It's fucking bad. It's really, really badly written. I'm imagining in my head right now that Jim Thies was studying the works of Shakespeare in his English class at high school, and then thought, "What a poser! I could do that." And then he set about to write this garbage. And again, like he wrote the first draft, and it was really shitty. You know, like a kindergartner's first writing. It's like, and then he went to the castle and talked to the fat prince, and the fat prince said, "You're dumb, and you go and hide in the pit." And then the advisor said, "No, put him in the mines and have him work and do things." And then Grigner was said like, "No," and yeah, like it looked like that, and he was like, "No,
All right.
it's good, but I've got to do better." And then he cracked open his thesaurus and fucking sprinkled this in, and this is what we're left with. Anyway, the vile stench of the shaman's hot, fetid breath overcame the nauseated female with a deep, soul-searing sickness, causing her to wrench her head backwards. And causing her to wrench her head backwards and regurgitate a slimy orange-white stream of swelling gore. She threw her head back and vomited. Fucking Christ!
Soul.
Oh my god.
I guess I gotta take over now.
Yeah, from the vile stench.
Vile stench. The vile stench of the shaman's hot, fetid breath overcame the nauseated female with a soul-searing sickness, causing her to wrench her head backwards and regurgitate a slimy, orange-white stream of swelling gore over the richly woven purple robe of the enthusiast acolyte. You could have just said no.
I just imagine in my mind this fucking like cultist pulls her up, gives her a smooch, and then she just looks like her fucking like shoulders, like neck fucking pulled into her chest, looks up and just and just heaves all over him.
Confidence.
Fucking Christ.
The priest's lips trembled with a malicious rage as he removed his callous paws from the girl's arms and replaced them with tightly around her undulating neck, shaking her violently to and fro. Why, you little!
He removed his gorilla his gorilla hands from the girl's arms and then just started like shaking her neck like a maraca.
Shaking her like Homer Simpson shaking Bart.
Yeah, essentially.
Orange white.
Right.
The girl gasped a tortured groan from her clamped lungs. Her sea blue eyes bulging forth from damp sockets. Cocking her right foot backwards, she leased it desperately outwards with the strength of a demon possessed, lodging her sandaled foot squarely between the shaman's testicles. Oof. Oof. Press F. The startled priest released his crushing grip, crimping his body over at the waist, overlooking his recessed belly. Oh my god, just I hate all I can't I hate all this description. It's too much.
I know, it's fucking awful.
Wide open and deep chasm? Is that even right? Wide open in a deep chasm.
Wait,
I guess it is.
Why? Oh, crimping his body over the waist, overlooking his recessed belly, wide open in a deep chasm. I don't even know, man.
Face flushed to a rose-red shade of crimson, eyelids flaring wide, with eyeballs protruding blindly outward from their sockets to their outmost perimeters. With his lips quivered wildly about, allowing an antagonized wallow to gust forth as his breath billowed from burning lungs. His hands reached out, clutching his urinary gland, as his knees wobbled rapidly about a few seconds, then buckled, causing the ruptured shaman to collapse in an egg-huddled mass to the granite pavement, rolling helplessly about in agony. Now, how many sentences do you think you can actually describe this entire event in? Two. I'm guessing two.
Nah, Jim Thighs has to go the extra mile. He'll use 7 sentences where 1 could work.
But no. But wait! There's more! Because he ain't done describing the pathetic screeches of the shaman groveling in dejected misery upon the hand-hewn granite-laid pavement, worn smooth by countless hours of arduous sweat and toil. See, here's the fucking thing. He's supposed to be describing this man's pain, and yet he's going off on a fucking tangent to say, oh, by the way, this forest's been here for a fucking long time.
Yeah.
A welter of ichor oozing through his clenched hands attracted the perturbant attention of his comrades from their folded utilation. Actions of this rebellious wench bespoke the credence of an unheard of sacrilege. Never before in a lost maze of untold eons had a chosen one dared to demonstrate such blasphemy in the face of the cult's idolic deity. The girl cowered in unreasoning terror, helpless in the face of the emblazoned acolyte's rage, her orchid-tousled face smothered betwixt her bulging bosom, as she shut her curved lash tightly, hoping to open them and find herself awakening from a morbid nightmare. Yet, in the hand of destiny decreed her no such mercy. The antagonized pack of leering shaman, converging tensely upon her prostrate form, were entangled all too lividly in the grim web of reality. Shuddering from the...
Deep.
You know, right? And I still don't know what the fuck is going on here. I just...
They're trying to grab her after she kicked this dude in the nards.
Yeah, he's bleeding on the ground after a nut shot, and these fucking angry monks are coming after her. And I guess she's, I don't know, showing off her tits, hoping to go away.
Nah, she's just basically just cowering in fear right now.
I mean, they're fucking monks. How fucking tough?
Well, I mean, like there's 8 of them, and they're trying to sacrifice her or something.
No, they're not trying to sacrifice him because the dude earlier was trying to fucking grope her.
Well,
At least I thought that's what's going on.
He said up to the altar and be done with it. So like, he wanted her to get on the altar, I guess, for the sacrifice. And then when she refused, he gave her a smooch, which caused her to vomit on him. Then he started doing the Bart Simpson strangling thing to her, and she kicked him in the nards and fucking ruptured his sack. And so he fell to the ground, and now the rest of them are angry. Everyone caught up?
I'm sorry, weren't we supposed to be dealing with Grigner fighting rats or some shit like that?
No, he fought the rat. He twisted its fucking head off. Now we're here.
I can't imagine.
What?
I said I can't imagine that takes a lot of fucking effort.
Well, I mean, it was apparently a giant rat. Anyway.
Let's see here. Grass tortured. This death startled. Please read a question.
You're on the last line.
Yeah. Shuddering from the clammy touch of the... No, it's clammy.
There's 2 M's in clammy. This only has 1. Yep.
Whatever.
The clammy.
Clammy touch of the shaman as they grappled with her supple form, hands wrenching at her slender arms and legs in all directions. Yep, they're going for her.
Yep.
Her bare body being molested. Yeah, they're not trying to sacrifice her. They're trying to fucking rape her. Her bare body being molested in the midst of the labyrinth of orange smudges, purple satin, and mangled skull shadowed in an eerie crimson glow. Her confused head reeled, then clouded in mist of enshrouded ebony as she laughs beneath the protected sheet of unconsciousness to a land of peach and resign.
How deep?
Again, what the fuck is even? Whatever.
Scroll
Your
down,
turn.
there's another illustration.
Ick.
Enchanted. Yeah, yuck. Fucking great. Alright. Take hold of this rope, said the first soldier, and climb out from your pit, slut. Your presence is requested in another far deeper hellhole. Grigner slipped his right hand to his thigh, concealing a small opaque object beneath the folds of the G-string wrapped around his waist. Brine wells swelled in Grigner's cold, jade-squinting eyes, which, grown accustomed to the gloom of the Stygian pools of ebony engulfing him, were bedazzled and blinded by flickering radiance cast forth by the second soldier's resin torch. Tightly gripped in the second soldier's right hand, opposite the intermittent torch, was a large double-edged axe, a long leather-wound oaken handled, transfixing the center of the weapon's iron head. Adorning the torsos of both of the sentries were thin yet sturdy hauberks, the breastplates of which were woven of tightly hemmed twines of reinforced silver braiding. Cupping the soldiers' feet were thick leather always with the fucking shoes! Wound about their shins to 2 inches below their knees. Wrapped about their waists were wide satin girdles with slender bladed poniards dangling loosely from them, the hilts of which featured scarlet encrusted gems. Resting upon the mane of their heads and reaching midway to their brows were smooth copper morions. Spiraling the lower portion of the helmet were short, upcurved silver spikes, while a golden hump spiraled from the top of each bassinet. Beneath their chins, wound around their necks, and draping their clad shoulders, dangled regal purple satin cloaks, which flowed midway to the soldiers' feet. Fucking, I hope you have an image of them in your mind, because I'm
I just
curious. I'm curious. What what are you imagining? Like, what type of soldier are you imagining from these descriptions? Because I'm imagining a cross between like Arabian and Greek.
yeah, that's basically what I'm getting here. They're just typical barbarian movie soldiers.
They've got like the Greek sandals that like wind up their fucking shins. They've got like the fucking Arabian like girdles, like like the satin fucking belts and the helmets. They've got like the cloaks, which can go either way. It's fucking dumb. It's really fucking dumb. Hand over hand, feet braced against the dark walls of the enclosure. Oh, sorry, the dank walls of the enclosure. Huge Grigner ascended from the moldering depths of the forlorn abyss, while small Grigner was left to wallow. That last part's not in it. His swelled limbs stiff due to the boredom of a timeless inactivity, compounded by the musty atmosphere and jagged granite protuberant against his body, craved for action. The opportunity now presenting itself served the purpose of oiling his rusty joints and honing his dulled senses. He braced himself, facing the second soldier. The sentry's stature was wildly exaggerated in the glare of the flickering crescent cuppix in his right fist. The fucking what? Flickering crescent cuppix? Does that make any sense to you?
What is a Cuppix?
I don't know. I think this is supposed to be the torch? Crescent cuppix. Ugh. His eyes were wide open in a slightly slanted owlish glaze, enhanced in their sinister intensity by the hawk-bill curve of his nose and the pale, yellow peak of his cheeks. "Place your hands behind your back," said the second soldier as he raised his axe over his right shoulder blade and cast it a wavering glance. "We must bind your wrists to parry any attempts at escape. Be sure to make the knot a stout one, Broig. We wouldn't want our guest to take leave of our guidance." Broig grasped Grigner's left wrist and reached for the barbarian's right wrist. Grigner wrenched his right arm free and swiveled to face Broig. Reach beneath to Okay. Grigner wrenched his right arm free and swiveled to face Broig, reach - space beneath his loincloth with his right hand. The sentry grappled at his girdle for the sheathed dagger, but recoiled short of his intentions as Grigner's right arm swept to his gorge. The soldier went limp, his bobbing eyes rolling beneath fluttering eyelids, a deep welt across his spouting gullet. Without lingering to observe the result of his efforts, Grigner dropped to his knees to suck the soldier's cock. The second...
Ugh.
That's not part of it. The second soldier's axe cleft over Grigner's head in a bulls of silvered ferocity, severing several scarlet locks from his scalp. Coming to rest in his fellow's stomach, the iron head crashed through the mail and flesh with splintering force, spilling a pool of crimsoned entrails over the granite paving. Before the sentry could wrench his axe free from his comrade's carcass, he found Grigner's massive hands clasped about his throat, choking the life from his clamped lungs. With a
Why,
zealous...
you little...
Yeah. With a zealous grunt, the accordion flexed his tightly corded biceps, forcing the grim-faced soldier to one knee. The sentry plunged his right fist into Grigner's face, digging his grimy nails into Barbarian's flesh. Ejaculating... Ejaculating. Why did it
So-
have to be ejaculating? Yergo from ejaculating.
Oh my god.
Just go. We gotta get past this
I-
fucking
I-
sentence.
I know. Ejaculating a curse.
Just taking a mulligan on
I'm-
the ejaculating. Just go.
I know I wasn't gonna turn off to you here. Alright. Ejaculating a curse through rasping teeth. Grigner surged the bulk of his weight forward,
Forward.
bowling the besieged soldier over upon his back. The sentry's arms collapsed to his thigh, shuddering convulsively, his bulging eyes staring blindly from a bloated cherry red face.
When I say his hands
Rising-
are at his thighs, I imagine he's got his hands like cupping his dick. Like he's trying to block. He's trying to, cup himself there.
Yeah, this guy really is writing up some gay imagery.
Yeah.
um,
Rising.
to his feet, Rigner shook the blood from his eyes, roughing his surly red mane as a brush fire swaying to the nighttime breeze. Yeah, he really likes describing how luscious this man's hair is.
Oh yeah.
Stooping over a sprawled corpse of the first soldier, Bregner retrieved a small white object from a pool of congealed gore. Ugh.
Yeah.
Small white object. Snorting a gusty billow of mirth. I don't know what that...
I guess it means just like fucking.
I don't know.
You know when people say "lob," what they really mean is they're just like exhaling through their nose. Like. Like when someone sends you a fucking meme and it's kind of funny, but it's not that funny, so you're just like,
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, probably not what it is, but it makes sense.
I don't know.
Once more concealed that tiny object beneath his loincloth. Oh, undoubted. The tediously honed pelvis bone. Pelvis bone of the broken rodent. Okay. Returning his attention toward the second soldier, Grigner turned to the task of tiring his limbs. To move about freely through the dim recesses of the castle would require the grotesque garb of its soldiers. Utilizing the silence and the stealth acquired in the... No, there's no C.
Acquired.
Acquired in the untamed climes of his childhood, Grigner slink through twisted corridors and winding stairways.
Winding. That one is correct. That is winding.
Okay, winding stairways, lighting his way with confiscated torch. of his dispatched guardian. Knowing where his steps were leading to, Grigner meandered, men,
Meandered.
meandered. Yeah, there you go. I know the word. I just don't really see it too much. Meandered aimlessly in search of an exit from the chateau's dim confines.
Okay, why would you refer to this place as a chateau?
Boy, they referred to it as chateau earlier.
Yeah, but when he was in like the upstairs, sort of palace-like area, you're in like the fucking dank underground. This is not the time to call it a chateau.
No, chateau is just in the basement.
You're in a dungeon. You're not in someone's house. You're in the dungeon below their house.
All right, where's the part where I get to read? Yeah.
I don't think that's actually in the fucking book. I think
What is it?
It's just an
What is it supposed to be anyway?
I have no idea. It looks like a freaky ass dog.
That or it looks like the dragon from the never-ending story.
Oh yeah. Never story.
The wild blood coursing through his veins yearned for the undefiled freedom of livid wilderness lands. Coming upon a fork in the passage, he shrieked voices accompanied by clinking footfalls discerned to his sensitive ears from the left corridor. Wishing to avoid contact, Grigner veered to the right passageway. So all that just to say,
he heard
stepped out of sight.
Hear thing from left. Go right instead.
Geez, somebody's coming. Here, let me just go right over here.
Yeah.
We're good. If acquested as to the purpose of his presence, his barbarous accent would reveal his identity. You can't fake one? I mean, you have all like this infinite knowledge of like biology and sociology and all this shit. You can't like fucking.
Yeah, you can't just do a voice. Yeah.
All right. His barbarous accent would reveal his identity, being that his attire was not that of the castle's mercenary troops.
Okay, what was that shit earlier then? Because he said like. Fucking to move about freely through the dim recesses of the castle would require the grotesque garb of its soldiery. Was it not supposed to be implied that he took their clothes? Because that's what was implied.
No, it's grotesque. He doesn't want to wear it. He prefers to wear his G-string, as it was called earlier.
Yeah, clearly the G-string is a preferable alternative to wearing armor.
Also, there's another fucking weird-ass way to describe him. He's wearing a fucking G-string.
Yeah.
This man might be gay.
Maybe.
Because like we have like weird descriptions of the women, or very basic descriptions of the women here. I know, like
except for the fact nipples. That they're, except for the fact that, or at least the one that's about to be sacrificed, is busty. Don't forget, she's quite buxom. Ah, yes.
Well, again, that's like a like a basic description you would expect in these stories here, but no, he goes into fucking detail.
Oh yeah.
Grigner looks like
whenever got to Grigner's parts, Jim Thies was riding one-handed, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, he makes sure you do not miss a detail of just how massive this man is.
Oh, he's so big and his muscles are so defined. Oh yes.
But I can see a fucking nerd reading this like, what the shit is this?
What is this garbage? This is.
What's the description of the boobies?
I want the boobies.
Anyway,
in Grimm's. Yeah. In Grimm's silence.
No. Fuck. Okay, there it is. In grim silence, Grigner treaded down the dingily lit corridor, a stalking panther creeping warily along on padded feet. After an interminable. Yeah, there we go. Interminable period of wandering through the dull corridors, no gaps to break the monotony of the cold gray walls. Grigner espied.
Speed.
Oh yeah, it's speed. Yeah.
I think it's supposed to be spied, but it's espied.
Espied a small winding stairway descending the flight of acred granite slabs. Oh yeah, arced granite slabs to their posterior. Grigner was confronted by a short hallway leading to a tall arched wooden doorway. Halting before the teeming portal, Grigner portal.
The teeming portal. Yeah.
We just call it Portal 2, but okay. Here you go.
Fucking portal. uh, halting before the teeming portal. Okay, taking a mulligan, but gotta get over it.
All right, let's make it a rule. If you're taking over, you laugh at the same sentence that the other guy does. It doesn't count.
Yeah, it doesn't count. Grigner restes his shaggy head sideways against the barrier. Detecting no sounds from within, he grasped the looped metal handle of the door, his arms surging with a tremendous effort of bulging muscles. Yet the door would not budge. Retrieving his axe from where he had sheathed it beneath his girdle. Okay, wait, so is
I mean,
he
what are you
or
getting
is he
at?
not wearing the fucking soldier outfit? Because he didn't have a girdle before.
Yes.
So then what was that earlier about him not wearing their outfit?
Yes.
Ugh.
That's the only answer I have for you. Is just yes.
Retrieving. Okay, what does make me feel better is that Jim Thighs is dead. But at the same time, I'm kind of upset.
What?
Yeah, he's dead.
I know he's dead, but that's your fucking answer.
Yeah, I know it sounds kind of fucked up, but hear me out. On the one hand, I'm glad he's dead for putting people through this fucking torture. But on the other hand, I wish he had a chance to explain just what kind of fucking drugs he was on when he was writing this.
I'm not. I wish the man was still alive to write more bullshit like this.
Okay.
I think we need a Grigner too.
The Eye of Argon 2, Grigner's Slutry Adventure. Anyway, retrieving his axe from where he had sheathed it beneath his girdle, he hefted it in his mighty hands with an appeased grunt, and wedging one of its blackened edges into the crack between the portal and its iron-rimed sill. Bracing his sandaled right foot against the ruggedly hewn wall, teeth tightly clenched, Grigner apple-levered the oaken apple-levered. What the fuck?
No, it's apple lever.
Yeah, apple-lever. Apple-levered the oaken haft, employing it as a lever whereby to pry open the barrier. The leather-wound hilt bending to its utmost limits of endurance, the massive portal swung open with a grating of snapped latch and rusty iron hinges. Glancing about the dust-swirled room in the gloomy, dancing glare of his flickering cresset, Grigner eyed evidences of the enclosure being nothing more than a forgotten storeroom. Miscellaneous articles required for the maintenance of a castle were piled in disorganized heaps at infrequent intervals toward the wall opposite the barbarian's piercing stare. Utilizing long, bounding strides, Grigner paced his way over to the mounds of supplies to discover if any articles of value were contained within their midst. I just imagine, like, he opens his door, sees a storage closet, and then just, like, fucking skips to the other side. With his fucking...
Well, he's been bounding this entire time, dude.
Yeah, his long, bounding strides. You know that part from SpongeBob where he was doing the whole stepping on the beach thing? He walks like that. Stepping on the beach. Doo, 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 doo. Detecting a faint clinking sound, Grigner sprawled to his left side with the speed of a striking cobra, landing harshly upon his back, torch and axe loudly clattering to the floor in a morass of sparks and flame. An elm-woven board leaped from the collapsed flooring, clashing against the jagged flooring and spewing a shower of orange and yellow sparks over Grigner's startled face. Rising uneasily to his feet, the half-stunned accordion glared down at the gruesome arm of death he had unwittingly sprung. Mrifk! He he just shouts Mrifk.
Well, that's like their god, I think.
I guess. What a shitty
You
name
know,
for a god.
yeah, kind of like in Conan the Barbarian, like Crom.
Yeah, but I don't
I wish.
remember. I don't remember him ever dodging a trap and going, "What the crom was that?"
Well, Conan the Barbarian didn't say that either. You mongoloid.
Yeah, I know.
You
That's
you
what I mean.
you're
It's
You're Norgaline or whatever the fuck they're called.
you're a Norgolian. You ejaculating accordion. Anyway, if not for his keen auditory organs, you mean his ears? Auditory
Yes.
organs, fucking Christ. And lighting steeled reflexes, Grigner would have been groping through the shadowed hell pits of the Grim Reaper. He had unknowingly stumbled upon an ancient, long forgotten booby trap, a mistake which would have stunted the perusal of longevity of one less agile. The fucking wording is kicking me in my brain testicles. A mechanism similar in type to that of a miniature catapult was concealed beneath the two collapsible sections of granite flooring. The arm of the device was 4 feet long, boasting razor-like cleats at regular intervals along its face, with which it was to skewer the luckless body of its would-be victim. Grigner had stepped upon a concealed catch which relaced a small metal latch beneath the two granite sections, causing them to fall inward and thereby loose the spiked arm of death they precariously held in. So, for those of you not paying attention, he was intimate description of the trap he set off for some reason, partially
That,
out of curiosity and
how many
partially.
sentences was that for that one trap?
Oh God, I okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 really long sentences. Fucking Christ. Partially out of curiosity and partially out of an inordinate fear becoming a pincushion for a possible second trap, Grigner plunged his torch into the exposed gap in the floor. The floor of a second chamber stood out 7 feet below the glare. Tossing his torch through the aperture, Grigner grasped the side of an adjoining tile, dropping down. Glancing about the room, Grigner discovered that he had descended into the palace's mausoleum. Rectangular stone crypts cluttered the floor at evenly placed intervals. The tops of the enclosures were plated with thick layers of virgin gold, while the sides were plated with white ivory. Am I breathing in my mic?
What?
Am I like is like am I breathing in the mic? Can you hear that?
Um, no, not really.
Okay, because I was wondering if you were
There,
hearing
there's
like a noise.
no, there has been like a weird cutoff for the last couple seconds though.
Hmm. Anyway,
I hear that, whatever that was.
yeah, that was me tapping it. Virgin gold, while the sides were plated with white ivory, at one time sparkling, but now grown dingy through the passage of the rays of all-encompassing Mother Time. Featured at the head of each sarcophagus in tarnished silver was an expugnatively carved likeness of its rotting inhabitant. Expugnatively. I'm looking this one up. This one's got my attention.
That doesn't sound right. Sounds like it should have been something else.
I believe it's supposed to be expansively or
Say the sentence again.
expugnatively. Hold on. Featured at the head of each sarcophagus in tarnished silver was an expugnatively carved likeness. Expugnatively.
Fancifully carved likeness.
Maybe? I don't know. A dingy atmosphere pervaded the air of the chamber, which, sealed in the enclosure for an unknown period, had grown thick and stale. Intermingling with the curdled currents was the repugnant stench of slowly mouldering flesh, creeping ever slowly but surely through the minute cracks in the numerous vaults. Due to the embalming of the bodies, their flesh decay. I know how fucking mummification works, jackass! Yes, the bodies were embalmed, they decayed slower. Fuck you. I'm skipping that sentence. It bothers me too much. Towering over Grigner's head was the trap he released. The mechanism of the miniaturized catapult was cluttered with mildew and cobwebs. Notwithstanding these relics of antiquity, its efficiency remained unimpinged. To the right of the trap wound a short stairway through a recess in the ceiling, a concealed entrance leading to the mausoleum for which the catapult had obviously been erected as a silent, relentless guardian. Climbing up the side of the device, Grigner set to the task of resetting its mechanism. In the event that a search was organized, it would prove well to leave no evidence of his presence open to wandering eyes. Besides, it might even serve to dwindle the size of an opposing force. Descending from his perch, Grigner was startled by a faintly muffled scream of horrified desperation. His hair
Uh,
prickled his hair prickled yawkishly in disorganized clumps along his scalp, as a cold danced along the length of his spinal cord. No moral/mortal barrier, human or otherwise, was capable of arousing the numbing sensation of fear inside of Grigner's smoldering soul. However, he was overwrought by the forces of the barbarian's instinctive fear of the supernatural. His mighty thews had always served to adequately conquer any tangible foe, but the intangible was something distant and terrible. Dim, horrifying tales passed by word of mouth over glimmering campfires, and skins of wine had more than once served the purpose of chilling the marrowed core of his sturdy limbed bones. Fucking scaredy cat. Yet,
Praise a barbarian.
yeah. Well, it said barbarian, then once it said thief, but that's in the same way that Conan was apparently a thief. Anyway. Yet, the scream contained a strangely human quality, unlike that which Grigner imagined would come from the lungs of a demon or spirit, making Grigner take short, nervous strides advancing to the sarcophagus from which the sound was issuing. Clenching his teeth in an attempt to steel his jangled nerves, Grigner slid the engraved slab from the vault with a sharp rasp of grinding stone. Another long drawn cry of terror and terror infested anguish met the barbarian, scoring like the shrill piping of a demented banshee, piercing the inner fibers of his superstitious brain with primitive dread and awe. Fucking
Dread.
primitive dread. Yeah. Stooping over to espy the tome's contents, the glittering accordion's nostrils were singed by the scorching aroma of a mouldering corpse, long shut up and fermenting. The same putrid scent which permeated the entire chamber, though multiplied to a much more concentrated dosage. The shriveled, leathery packet of crumbling bones and dried, flacking flesh offered no resistance, but remained in a fixed position of perpetual vigilance, watching over its dim abode from hollow, gaping sockets. It's a fucking corpse. It doesn't need the fucking red carpet treatment. The tortured cries were not cries crys, not ies, were not coming from the tomb, but from some hidden depth below. Pulling the reeking corpse from its resting place, Grigner tossed it to the floor in a broken, mangled heap. Rude. Upon one side of the crypt's bottom was attached a series of tiny hinges, while running parallel along the opposite side of a convex railing-like protuberance, laid so as to appear as a part of the interior surface of the sarcophagus. Raising the slab upon its bronze hinges, long removed from the gaze of human eyes, Grigner perceived a scene which caused his blood to smolder, not unlike bubbling molten lava. Directly below him, a whimpering female lay stretched upon a smooth surface marble altar. A pack of gracie-faced shaman clustered around her in a tight circular formation. Crouched over the girl was a tall, pot-bellied priest, his face dominated by a disgusting, open-mouthed grimace of sadistic glee. Suspended from the acolyte's clenched right hand was a carven oval-faced mallet, which he waved menacingly over the girl's shadowed face, an incoherent gibberish flowing from his grinning, thick-lipped mouth. So this guy standing over her, waving a mallet like a fucking madman, going in the face of the amorphous, broad-braided female, stretched out alluringly before his gaping eyes, the universal whim of nature filing a plea of despair inside of his white-hot soul, Grigner acted in the only manner he could perceive. Giving vent to a hoarse, throat-rending battle cry, Grigner plunged into the midst of the startled shaman, torch simmering in his left hand, index twirling in his right hand. A gaunt, skull-faced priest standing at the far side of the altar clutched desperately at his throat, coughing furiously in an attempt to catch his breath. Lurching helplessly to and fro, the acolyte pitched headlong against the gleaming base of a massive jade idol. Fucking, apparently now they're acolytes, not shaman. Writhing agonizedly against the hideous image, foam flecking his chalk-white lips, the priest struggled helplessly, the victim of an epileptic seizure.
No, he got kicked in the balls.
No, he's having an epileptic fit now. Fucking Grigner dropped from the ceiling, screaming like a madman, and the priest has an epileptic fit.
My heart.
No, like he's fucking seizing, like he's seizing out, like he's having a fucking stroke.
Yeah,
What a
that would be his heart.
imagine if like any other story had this in it, like Conan fucking in the cult's fucking place. He sneaks up on James Earl Jones, and instead of hacking his head off, he has a fucking seizure and dies. You wouldn't like Conan anymore.
Except when the bad guy goes boo and the guy passes.
Startled by the barbarian's stunning appearance, the chronic fit of their fellow, and the fear that Grigner might be the avant-garde of a... Avant-garde... Fuck off.
Avant-garde?
Yeah, the avant-garde. I don't
Oh.
think Jim Thies knows even half of the definitions of the words he's using. He probably heard someone say avant-garde once, and then thought it was like a guard. Ugh. And the fear that Grigner might be the avant-garde of a conquering force dedicated to the cause of destroying their degenerated cult, the Saman momentarily lost their composure. Giving vent to heedless pandemonium, the priests fell easy prey to Grigner's sweeping arc of crimson death and maiming destruction. The acolyte, not a shaman, an acolyte now, performing the sacrifice, took a vicious blow to the stomach, hands clutching vitals and severed spinal cord as he sprawled over the altar. The disorganized priests lurched and staggered with split skulls, dismembered limbs, and spewing entrails before the enraged accordion's relentless onslaught. The howless of the maimed and dying reverberated against the walls of the tiny chamber, a chorus of hell-fraught despair, as the granite floor ran red with blood. The entire chamber was encompassed in the heat of raw, savage butchery as Grigner luxuriated in the grips of a primitive, beastly bloodlust. Presently all went silent, save for the ebbing groans of the sinking shaman, and Grigner's heaving breath accompanied by several gusty curses. The well had run dry. No more lambs remained for the slaughter. How deep?
Whoa, is this guy a fucking bloodthirster of corn or some shit like that?
Yeah, I guess. So he's a cross between a corn bloodthirster and an accordion. And a slut. He's a slutty accordion bloodthirster, is what he is. Because everyone's been calling him a slut this whole time.
Goes up to each one of the shaman, points his broadsword at their head, and says, "Do you believe in God?"
Well, yeah, they're worshipping Argon.
You know what that joke is from it? The Columbine shooter.
Really?
Yeah.
That's what that's from? One of those nerds said that?
Yes.
Interesting.
Of all the edgy fucking things you can say.
I just now I'm just imagining Grigner fucking going into a battle screaming, "Crimson life fluid for the Crimson Life God!"
Ejaculate crimson light fluid for the crimson life god.
Yeah. Anyway.
Meanwhile, Corn's like, ew, bro.
Fucking ew. Save that for Slanesh. The rampaging stead of death having taken of Grigner for the moment, left the barbarian free to the exploitation of his other perusials. Towering over his head
Hold
was...
up. Hold up. Look at that picture there. Where is her nose?
I think what that is, like, her eyes are behind her hair, and what you're seeing there in that lump is just her giant nose. Tell me I'm wrong.
I see that now too.
Oh god. Where was I? Okay. The rampaging stead of death having taken of Grigner for the moment, left the barbarian free to the exploitation of his other perusials. Towering over his head was a misshaped image of the cult's hideous deity, Argon. The fantastic size of the idol, in consideration of its being of pure jade, was enough to cause the senses of any man to stagger and reel. Yet thus was not the case for the behemoth. He had paid only casual notice to this incredible fact, while riveting the whole of his attention upon the jewel protruding from the idol's sole socket, its masterfully cut faucets emitting blinding rays of hypnotizing beauty. After all, a man cannot slink from having a man cannot slink from a heavily guarded palace while burdened down by the intense bulk of a squatting statue, providing, of course, that the idol can even be hefted, which in fact was beyond the reaches of Grigner's coursing stamina. On the other hand, the jewel, gigantic as it was, would not present a hindrance of any mean concern. So basically, he's
Also
thinking of
Jewish.
stealing the jewel. Yeah.
He's also Jewish, though. He's not affected by their propaganda.
Well, no, he's just thinking, well, I can't steal the entire statue, but I can steal the eye. Alright, so, help me, please. I can make it well worth your while, pleaded a soft, anguish-strewn voice wafting over Grigner's shoulders as he plucked the dull red emerald from its roots. Turning, Grigner faced the female that had lured him into this bloodbath, but who had become all but forgotten in the heat of the battle. You! Ejaculated the accordion in a pleased tone. Fucking ejaculated the accordion. God damn it.
You!
You! He's gonna
You!
crank that soldier boy after he's done ejaculating.
He cranked that accordion, boy.
Fuck, I
You
I
ejaculated.
need some water. You continue.
Okay. You ejaculated the accordion in a pleased tone. I thought that I had seen the last of you at the tavern, but verily I was mistaken. Grigner advanced into the grips of the female's entrancing stare, severing the golden chains that held her captive upon the altar's highly polished face of ornamental limestone. As
I thought it was made of
Grigner
marble.
lifted, oh, now it's made of limestone.
I guess.
We're changing it. We're going Ryan Johnson in this bullshit.
Yeah, like how the noble went to prince, then to king, then back to prince, and how the shaman keep varying between shaman and acolytes.
No, it's not important.
Yeah.
Let's see here. As Grigner lifted the girl from the altar, his arms wound
Her
dexterous.
arms.
Oh, sorry, yeah. Her arms
Wound.
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 No, wound.
Wound. Okay, I'm
we covered this
determined.
earlier.
Wound. I'm looking this up. Wound. Yeah, wound. Wound. Okay, yeah, here we are. Wound. Secondary description. Past participle of wind. Wind be to cause someone to have difficulty breathing because blah, 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 detect the blah, 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 sound blah, blah, blah. Now here we are. Here we are. Wind. Move in or take a twisting or spiral course, or make operate by turning a key or handle. Blah, 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 blah. But yeah, like wound. It's wound. It's spelled the same as wound, but it's wound. Because I know we're making fun of this shithouse book, but I know for a fact that is an actual separate word that means its own thing.
Right. Wound dexterously around his neck, soft and smooth against his harsh exterior. Art thou pleased that we have chance to meet once again? Oh, is this? No, this is the same bitch from earlier.
Yeah, this is the wench that made love well.
All right, bro. Grigner merely voiced an sighed grunt, returning the damsel's embrace while he smothered her trim, delicate lips between the coursing protrusions of his reeking maw. Ugh.
Ew.
Alright, he just goes right in for it.
Yeah.
Let us take leave of this wretched chamber, stated Grigner, as he placed the female upon his feet.
Her feet.
Aw.
He didn't stand her on his feet.
Okay, that's what I thought at first.
Yeah.
She swooned a moment, causing Grigner to give her support, then regain. Dude, his fucking presence just caused her to get weak in the knees.
Yeah. Well, he's this big, bulging mass of muscles.
This man is a fucking Jed.
You know what this is? I bet
What?
you Jim Thighs is the fucking pseudonym of the shield captain of the custodian guard. He wrote this.
One. Itten?
No, not the captain general, the shield captain.
Oh.
The one that can't read. That's why it's so bad. He wrote this.
Explains the homosexuality.
Yeah.
Let's see. Here's a standard game stance. Art thou able to find your way through? Okay, why does he? So they keep going from this talk. When he's talking to the chick, it goes right into the art thou and say it.
Yeah, I know, right?
But when he's talking to his enemies, he's like, dick.
Yeah, like fucking. He's talking to he's trying to, make like he's impressive. Like he's trying to impress them. It's like, forsooth, my lady, you are quite buxom. But then when talking to guys, he's like, go fuck yourself, you fucking dick ass. I want to fist your face with my dick. You know?
Dude, I'm a whore. Just fuck me.
Yeah, he's a slut.
Art thou able to find your way through the accursed passages of this castle? Murfk. Wait a minute. Wait. Back up there.
Yo.
No, that's ick.
Ick.
Yeah, I thought that was I thought we were looking at Murfk earlier.
No. No, it's
Murfk. Every one of the corridors of this damn place are identical.
You know what this is? This is a slut wooing a slut.
Yeah. I was at one time a slave of Prince. Oh, this
Agathim.
Great man.
Okay, well now. Okay, so now it's confirmed he's a prince, not a noble, not a king, but a prince. Prince Agathim.
His clammy touch set a sour swill through my belly, but my efforts reaped the harvest. I gained the pig's liking, whereby he allowed me the freedom of the palace. It was through this means that I eventually managed to escape of the palace. It was a simple matter to seduce the sentry at the western gate. His trust found him with a dagger thrust his ribs. The wench stated whimsicorally.
Whimsicorically? That is not a word. I'm looking this up. Whimsicorically.
So hold up here. This bitch from the bar. She used to be a guy, whatever his fucking name's, like number one bottom bitch.
Yeah, he was.
And her plan was to escape, get her freedom, only to go a couple yards from the castle to the whorehouse.
She went from the palace to a tavern where a bunch of other whores were hanging around. And then that's how this bullshit happened.
Where the same troops that hang out in the prince's castle go down to the wide, which I'm sure they know what she looks like. Great fucking plan.
Yeah. What? Oh, hold on.
What
Read ahead here. Just keep reading.
what were you doing at? Oh, here we go. What were you doing at the tavern whence I discovered you? Asked Grigner as he lifted the female through the opening of the mausoleum. I had sought to lay low from the palace's guard as they conducted their search for me. So you go to the place where all the palace guards go.
Hold
The
on.
tavern was what?
No. Keep reading.
The tavern was seldom frequented by the palace guards, and my identity was unknown to the common soldiers.
Okay, so
It
that's
was
one plot hole covered.
not really, because there was already a lot of soldiers in the tavern.
Yeah, but those were the common soldiers that never really knew the prince's harem. The palace guards knew who she was, but not the city guards. There's a difference. Like the better guards are around the palace, while the common ones are around the city. You get what I'm saying?
I don't think the palace guards are gonna be like, "Hey, this is what she looked like."
Well, they found her either way, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, well, that's because it was Grigner's fault there.
Also, whimsicorically is not a fucking word. Fuck you, Jim Thighs. That's not even close. It's supposed to be whimsically. How do you get whimsicorically?
It was through the disturbance that you. Yep, see, she's blaming him now. It was through the disturbance that you caused that the palace guards were attracted to the tavern. I was dragged away shortly after you were escorted to the palace.
Yep, there you go.
What are you called by, female? Female. Katharina, daughter of
Carthena,
daughter of Mincardos, Duke of Barwigo?
These fucking names.
Yeah, really. Whose lands border along the northwestern fringes of Gorzom. I was paid as homage to Agathim upon his 38th year,
Husk
Femme.
the Femme. What the fuck?
And I am called a barbarian, grunted Grigner in a disgusted. And I am called a barbarian, grunted Grigner in a disgusted tone.
I think what he means is, and I'm called a barbarian.
I know what he's saying.
Yeah.
Okay. He's trying to get the right tone.
Right.
The ways of our civilization are in many ways warped and distorted. But what is your calling? She queried. Bustily?
Yeah, I'm questioning that as well. Book? The fuck do you mean bust? Like, did she stick her tits out when she asked that?
Tits made a question mark.
Yeah, her tits were asking the questions, not her. I mean, as far as Grigner's concerned, she may as well just be a pair of tits, so I guess it fits.
Yeah, that's exactly what she's there to be sex appeal.
Yeah, that's right.
I have heard vaguely of Accordia.
You passed
It
one.
is the... Oh, did I? No, I said Grigner of Accordia.
Oh, I didn't hear that. I guess I just talked over it. He just...
I've heard...
Yeah, Grigner of Accordia.
Yeah. I have heard vaguely of Accordia. It is the hill country to the far east of the... Okay, there it is again.
Look,
Norgolian Empire.
The spelling changed from the beginning. I'm not joking. Scroll up. It's changed.
I know it. No, it's changed for the third time here because now there's an EAN instead of an IAN.
Does he not? Look, when you're writing a fucking shitty fantasy story, have your main words that you come up with written in a pamphlet to the side, so you at least have that as a const. Whatever, he's dead. This is made years ago. Continue. I'm raging at a dead guy.
I have also heard of Agathim. First land more than once when they were routed to the unaccustomed mountains and the gorges, saith she.
Saith
she. Saith I. My people are not tarnished by petty luxuries and baubles. They just kill people. Yeah. They remain fierce and unconquerable in their native climes. They're the fucking Viking faction.
Yeah.
After reaching the hidden panel at the head of the stairway, Grigner was at a loss in regard to its operation. His fiercest heaves were as pebbles against the burnished. No, let me read this right. His fiercest heaves were as pebbles against the burnished armor.
Not the burnished armor. He's comparing his shoving of it, trying to shove it open, as
The
like
point
throwing
is, it's
pebbles at
got an
armor.
exclamation. It's got
Yeah.
a fucking
So I think this is like the first fucking line in this whole goddamn thing that had an exclamation mark. It's fucking ridiculous.
Parthena depressed a small symbol included within the elaborate design upon the panel where open, it slowly slid into a cleft in the wall. How did you come to be the victim of those crazy shaman? Quested Grigner as he escorted Carthena through the piles of rummage on the left side of the trap.
Quested.
By hang on, I have to find something in my backpack.
Not queried, not questioned. Quested.
It's about the fourth time he's actually used that version.
Has he?
Yeah, this is not the first time he used it, man.
I'm
Do a quick like F3 search.
questioned, requested, aquested, then the quested, and then quest. So no, it is. It is the first time he said quested. I checked.
Quested Gringer as he escorted Carthena through the piles of rubbish, the left side of the trap. By Agathim's orders, I was thrust into a secluded cell to await his passing of sentence. By some means, the priests of Argon acquired a set of keys to the cell. They slew the guard placed over me and abducted me to the chamber in which you were chanced to come upon the what? Tostic
Scasistic?
the
Scasis?
their heretical sacrifice.
Yeah.
Their hellspawn cult demanded a sacrifice only once every 3 moons upon its full journey through the heavens. They were they were startled by your unannounced appearance through the fear that you had been sent by Agathim. The prince would surely have submitted them to the most ghastly tortures if he had ever discovered their unfaithfulness to Sargon, God, his bastard deity. Many of the partakers of the ritual were high nobles and high trustees of the inner palace. Agathon's pitiless wrath would have been unparalleled. They have no more fear of Agathon now, bellowed Gringer in a deep, mirthful tone, a gleeful smirk upon his face. I have seen that they were delivered from his vengeance.
I killed them, said
I
Grigner.
killed them. I killed the guy that was going to kill the people that I'm going to kill.
No, he killed the people that the prince was going to kill.
He killed everybody.
He's just a fucking murder hobo.
Engrossed by Carthena's pride and conversation, failed to take note of footfalls rapidly approaching him. As he swung aside the arch portal linking the chamber with the corridors beyond, a maddening, blood-lusting screech reverberated from his eardrums, seeming utilizing the speed of thought. Gringer swiveled to face his unknown foe. With gaping eyes and widened jaws, Gringer raised his axe above his surly mane, but he was too late.
His surly mine. Fucking like.
What the fuck is mine? I know it's a German word.
Yeah, like that's what it is. It's German. Just his surly mine. His surly his.
I think he means Maine, but
Yeah, he obviously meant Maine, but fucking Christ, he's stupid. Also, utilizing the speed of thought. Fucking classy.
going around at the speed of thought.
Fucking around at the speed of thought, more like. Again, our party consists of 2 separate slots now. Alright. Chapter 7, which is 2 paragraphs long for some reason. With wobbling knees and swimming head, the priest that had lapsed into an epileptic seizure rose unsteadily to his feet. While enacting his choking fit and writhing agony, the shaman was overlooked by Grigner. The barbarian had mistaken the seizure for the death throes of the acolyte, allowing the priest... Acolyte? Priest? Shaman? Fucking Christ. Allowing the priest to avoid...
Pastor.
Yeah. To avoid his stinging blade. The sight that met the priest's inflamed eyes nearly served to sprawl him upon the floor once more. The sacrificial sat it grim, blood-splattered silence all around him, broken only by the occasional yelps and howls of his maimed and butchered fellows. Above his head rose the hideous idol, its empty socket holding the shaman's eye-furbished, infuriated gaze. His eyes turned to a stony glaze with a realization of the pillage and blasphemy. Due to his high susceptibility following the seizure, the priest was transformed into a raving maniac, bent solely upon wreaking vengeance. With lips curled and quivering, a crust of foam dripping from them, the acolyte drew a long, wicked-looking jewel-hilted scimitar from his silver girdle, and fled through the aperture in the ceiling, uttering a faintly perceptible ceremonial gibberish. So I guess that was just describing how this guy caught up to him. But also, apparently the people, if you survive an epileptic seizure, you'll turn into a raving, gibbering madman.
Get up and Naruto run out of the barbarian.
Yeah, that's what happens. End chapter 7, by the way. On to chapter 7.5.
Fucking chapter 7.5 is considerably fucking longer.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's the last one, actually.
Technically, not including the lost ending.
Yeah. And the subscriber note.
Yeah.
A sweeping scimitar swung towards Grigner's head in a shadowed blur of motion. With axe raised over his head, Grigner prepared to parry the blow. Parry this, you filthy casual.
I just want to point out that he's been swapping back and forth between spelling axe with an E and without an E. Fucking consistency, am I right?
Technically, he's not wrong.
Well, okay, apparently axe with an E is how everyone spells it, and axe without an E is what the internet says Americans spell it, but I know that's not right. It's spelled axe, A-X-E. Like, no one spells it without an E. It's fucking dumb.
I've never seen it with an E at the end.
Really?
I thought it was a British thing. Yeah, I thought it was a British thing, actually.
I've only ever seen it with an E. Huh. Whatever. Continue.
Just smelly.
Gaping wide-eyed.
The gaping wide eye and open mouth perplexity. Suddenly, a sharp snap resounded behind the frothing shaman. The scimitar, halfway through its fatal sweep, dropped from a quivering, nervous hand, clattering harmlessly to the stone. Cutting his screech short with a bubbling red-mouthed gurgle, the lacerated acolyte staggered under the pressure of the released springboard. What? After a moment,
the shaman.
He fell for his own trap?
Yeah, the shaman stepped on the trap that Grigner reset. Fucking dumb. Fucking Christ.
After a moment of hopeless struggle, shaman buckled, falling face down in a widened pool of blood. And entrails, his regal purple robe blending enhancingly with the swirling streams of crimson. Murph! I thought I had killed the last of those dogs, muttered Grigner, in a half-apathetic state. You almost died. Nay, Grigner, you doubtless grew careless while giving vent to your lusts. Yeah, I can. Yeah.
So was he jerking off while he murdered all of them?
I mean, he was busy looking at her sagging nipples.
Yeah, so he was staring down at her sagging nipples, swinging his axe one-handed while jerking off onto her. What a great fucking image. Thank you, Jim Thighs.
But let us not tear any longer, lest we overtax fates. The path leading to freedom will soon be barred. The wretch's cries must certainly have been attracted unwanted attention. Though the wench amused. By what direction shall we pursue our flight? Up the stair and down the corridor a short distance is the concealed entrance to the tunnel seldom used by the others than the prince and known to a few others save the palace's royalty. It is used mainly by the prince when he wishes to take leave of the palace in secret. It is not always the prince's best interest to leave his chateau in public view. Even while under heavy guard, he is often assaulted by hurtling stones and rotting fruit. Then why would you fucking leave it all?
Yeah.
Commoners, the commoners have little love for him. Lectured the near lady.
The Either it's supposed to be the Nair Lady or the Nerelity, and neither of those are real. Also, they keep
Also,
saying
exclamation point.
chateau. They keep using a fucking French word when we're in like an Arabian desert and our main character is like some fucking Norse Viking motherfucker.
Not even Arabian here. We're like in Babylonia times here.
Yeah. France isn't real.
At
It's
least that
not
kind
a
of architecture's up.
or no, like no, I mean the French language isn't a thing yet. What the fuck are you saying chateau for, you fucking dick?
It's amazing that they would have ever left a pig like him become the ruler. Oh, sure, yeah, they just voted him in. I should imagine that his people would rise up and crucify him like the dog he is. Alas, Gringer, it is not as simple as all that. His soldiers are well paid by him. As long as he keeps their wages up, they will carry out his damned wishes. The crude implements of the common folk would never stand up under an onslaught of forged blades and protective armor. They would be going to their own slaughter, stated Carthena to a confused but angered Gringer as he topped their stoic. Well, Gringer's going around with a fucking G string and a fucking axe here. I think they can handle the guards.
Well, no. She's saying that the reason why the peasants don't revolt is because the guards have armors and weapons, and the peasants don't. So really what Jim
Yeah,
Thies was doing here is he was writing a very long-winded and verbose message of how gun control is bad.
maybe.
Continue.
Yet how can they bear to live under such an oppressor? I would sooner die beneath the sword than live under such a dog's commands, added Gringer, as they as the pair stalked down the hallway in the direction opposite that which Gringer had come. But all men are not the same mold that you are born of. They chose to live as they chose to live as they are so as they are so as so save their filthy necks from the chopping. Okay, bro.
They choose to live as they are so as to save their filthy necks from the chopping block. What a Thank you,
Oh,
Jim Thighs!
you left out a so there. There's like three so's.
As they are so as to save. There's only one so.
Huh. They chose. It's actually not chose. It's they choose to
Yeah.
live as they are so as to. No, maybe it's no. I'm counting the as's then.
Yeah.
Whatever. It doesn't make a fucking sense.
Yeah.
Return Parthena in a disgusted tone as she casts an I think it's appeased.
Appiest?
Or I think it's supposed to be appeased, but it's appeased.
That is
Gla-
not appeased. Whatever. Continue. Appiest glance.
appeased glance towards the stalwart figure at her side, whose left arm was wound dexterously around about her slim waist. His slowly waning touch casting their images in the intermingling wisps as it dangled from his left hand. Presently, Carthena came upon the panel, concealed amongst the other granite slabs, and
Discernible. That one's
discernible.
actually spelled correctly for once.
I discernible only by the burnt out crest above it. Crest, yeah, crest.
Crescent? I don't know.
As I pushed the cresset aside, pushed the panel inwards. Carthena. Nope, that's spelled Katarina.
Katarina.
Katarina. Well, there's ick. Motion to the panel she was referring to and twisted the cresset in a counterclockwise motion. Grimger braced his right shoulder against the walling, concentrating the force of his bulk against it. The slab gradually swung inward with a slight grating sound. Carthena stooped beneath Gringer's corded arms and crawled upon all fours into the passage beyond. Gringer followed after easing the slab back in place. It's just about them fucking escaping at the end.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh god, the long fucking paragraph just to escape.
Yep.
Winding before the pair was a dark, musty tunnel exhibiting tangled spiderwebs from its ceiling to wall and an oozing, sickly slime running lazily upon the floor. Hanging from the chipped wall upon Gringar's side was a half-moldered corpse, its gray flapping arms held in place by rusted iron manacles. Parthena flinched back into Gringer's arms at sight of the leering set in an ugly, distorted grimace, staring horribly at her from her hollow, gaping sockets. This alcove must also be used by Agaphim as a torture chamber. I wonder how many of his enemies have disappeared into these haunts, never to be heard from again, pondered the hulking brute. So, like, the escape passage is also being used as a torture chamber.
Well, it's a tunnel leading back into the palace that also leads out. So it's, I guess, just along the way.
But this is the same passage that he uses to get out without people seeing him.
Yeah.
And he's just throwing corpses in there.
Well, no, it's a torture chamber. Anyway.
Oh, whatever. Oh my god, this description. Let us flee before we are also caught within Agaphim's ghastly clutches. Exit from this tunnel cannot be very far from here, said Carthena, with a slight sob to her voice, as she sagged in Gringer's encompassing embrace.
Sagged like her nipples.
It would be best. Oh god, she's around fucking corpses and she's like butt ass naked too.
Yeah.
According to the picture.
Yeah.
It would be best to finish with the corridor as soon as possible. But why do you flinch at the sight of the death cell? Well, because it's a rotting corpse.
Yeah.
Murph! You have seen so much death this day without exhibiting such emotion, exclaimed. I think I would too if I had to smell a rotting corpse that was been stuck in a corridor.
Yeah.
For God knows how long. Exclaiming Gringer as he led her trembling form along the dingy confines. ... The man hanging from the wall was
Doyanta.
He had committed the folly of showing affections for me in front of Agaphim. He never meant any harm by his actions. At this, Carthena broke into a slow, steady whimpering, choking her voice with gasping sobs. There was never anything between us, and yet Agaphim did this to him. The beast! May the demons of hell's deepest haunts claw away at wretched flesh for his merciless act, she prayed. I detect that you feel more for this fellow than you wish to let on, but enough of this. We can talk of such matters after we've... Yeah, that's what I really want to talk about is your ex.
Yeah.
We can talk of such matters after we once more free to do so. With this, Gringer lifted the grieved female to her feet and strode onward down the corridor, supporting the bulk of her weight with his surging left arm. His jerking off arm.
Yep.
Presently, a dim light was
perceptibly
filtering into the tunnel, casting a dim reddish hue upon the moldy wall of the passage's grim confines. Carthena had ceased her whimpering and partially regained her composure. The tunnel's end must be nearing. Rays of sunlight are beginning to seep into. Dot 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 dot. Gringer
Chlamyde.
claiming, yeah, the unknown STD, Chlamyde.
Chlamyde.
His right hand over Carthena's mouth, and with a slight struggle pulled her over to the shadows at the right hand wall of the path, while at the same time thrusting his torch beneath an overhang to smother its flickering rays. Be silent! I hear footfalls approaching through the tunnel, growled Gringer in a hushed tone, because none of the guards apparently looked just a little bit to the left or the right.
Yeah.
Boss, this is a sneak mission. All that you hear are horses corralled at the far end of the tunnel. That is a further sign that we are nearing our goal, she stated. All that you hear is less than I hear. I hear footsteps coming toward us. Silence yourself, that we may find out whom we are. Is that even being used right?
Whom? Yeah. Yeah, it
We are
is.
being, yeah, we are being brought into contact with. I doubt that any would have thought as of yet to search this passage for us. The advantage of oh,
Surprise.
surprise will be upon our side, Bringer warned. Parthena, cast your eyes downward and ceased any she looked down. And
Mm.
ceased any further pursuit towards conversation. An irritating habit in which she had gained an amazing proficiency. Two
Wow.
figures came
Rude. Women, am I right? Always talking. Oh.
Well, you know what they say. Pretty women are meant to be seen, not to be heard. Two figures came in. Two figures came into the pair's view from around the turn in the tunnel. You know, in case we weren't sure where they're coming from.
Yeah.
They were clothed in rich, luxuriant silks and rambling on in conversation while ignorant of the crouching foes waiting in ambush ahead. That barbarian dog is cringing beneath the weight of the lash at this moment, sire. He shall cause no more disturbance. I and oh man, you're unlucky. I and so it is with any who dare to cross the path of Sargon's chosen one, said the second man. But the peasants are showing signs of growing unrest. They complain they cannot feed they cannot feed their families while burdened taxes.
No! How can I feed my family? I'll have
Demand
to
more
hand
speech for
them.
the children.
Oh, God.
Okay, that's you. The
Uh,
feet.
yeah.
Feet got me.
I shall teach those sluts the meaning of humility. Order an immediate increase upon their taxes. They dare to question my sovereign authority? Ha-ah! They shall soon learn what true oppression can be. I will. A shadowed bulk leapt from behind a jutting promontory as it brought down a double-edged axe with the sped of a striking thought. One of the nobles sagged lifeless to the ground, skull split to the teeth. That is actually a really good bit of writing right there. Actually, that's actually pretty grim description. Skull split to the teeth.
A broken clock is right at least twice a day, right?
Oh yeah, that I like that. That's apt. Grigner gasped as he observed the bisected face set in its leering death agonies. It was Agafind! The dead man's comrade, having recovered from his shock, drew a jewel-encrusted dagger from beneath the folds of his robe and lunged towards the barbarian's back. Grigner spun at the sound from behind and smashed down his crimsoned axe once more. His antagonist lunged howling to a stream of stagnant green water, grasping a spouting stump that had once been a wrist. Grigner raised his axe over his head and prepared to finish the incomplete job, but was deterred halfway through his lunge by a frenzied screech from behind. Carthena leapt to the head of the writhing figure, plunging a smoldering torch into the agonized face. The howls increased in their horrid intensity, stifled by the sizzling of roasting flesh, then died down until the man was reduced to a blubbering mass of squirming, insensate flesh. Grigner advanced to Carthena's side, wincing slightly from the putrid aroma of charred flesh that rose in a puff of thick white smog throughout the chamber. Carthena reeled slightly, staring dazedly downward at her gruesome handiwork. "I had to do it! It was Agaphim! I had to!" she exclaimed. "Sargon should be more careful of his right-hand men," added Grigner, a smug grin upon his lips. "But to hell with Sargon for now. The stench is becoming bothersome to me." With that, Grigner grasped Carthena round the waist, leading her around the bend in the cave and into the open. A ball of feral red was rising through the mists of the eastern horizon, dissipating the slinking shadows of the night. A coral stood before the pair, enclosing two grazing mares. Wow, coral. Fucking
Coral!
a coral
Coral!
a coral reef had two horses for them. How nice. Grigner
She
reached
said coral.
Grigner reached into a weighted down leather pouch dangling at his side and drew forth the scintillant red emerald he had obtained from the bloated idol. Raising it toward the sun, he said, "We shall do well with bauble, eh?" Carthena gaped at the gem gasping in a terrified manner. "The Eye of Argon! Oh! Kala!" At this the gem gave off a blinding glow, then dribbled through Grigner's fingers in a slimy red ooze. Grigner stepped back, pushing Carthena behind him. The droplets of slime slowly converged into a pulsating jelly-like mass. A single opening transfixed the blob, forming into a leech-like maw. Then the hideous transgressor of nature flowed towards Grigner, a trail of greenish slime lingering behind it. The single gap puckered repeatedly, emitting a ghastly sucking sound. Oh my, how lewd. Grigner spread his legs. Oh, fuck off! Grigner spread his legs into a battle stance, steeling his quivering thews for a battle royale with a thing he knew not how to fight. Carthena wound her arms about her protector's neck, mumbling, "Kill it! Kill!" while her entire body trembled. The thing was almost upon Grigner when he buried his axe into the gristly maw. It passed through the blob and clanged upon the ground. Grigner drew his axe back with a film of yellow-green slime clinging to the blade. The thing
Ugh.
was seemingly unaffected. Then it started to sluice up his leg. The hairs upon his nape stood on end from the slimy feel of the thing's bully bulk. The not-to-a sucking sound became louder, and Grigner felt the blood being drawn from his body. With each hiss of hideous pucker, the thing increased in size. Grigner shook his foot about madly in an attempt to dislodge the blob, but it clung like a leech, still feeding upon his rapidly draining life fluid. He grasped with his
Is
hands.
this a vor? Are we listening to a vor now?
I hope not. He grasped with his hands, trying to rip it off, but only found his hands entangled in a sickly glue-like substance. The slimy thing continued its puckering, now having grown the size of Grigner's leg from its vampiric feast. Grigner began to reel and stagger under the blob, his chalk-white face and faltering muscles attesting to the gigantic loss of blood. Carthena slipped from Grigner in a death-like faint, a marrow-chilling scream upon her red, rubish lips. In final desperation, Grigner grasped the smoldering torch upon the ground and plunged it into the reeking maw of the travesty. A shudder passed through the thing. Grigner felt the blackness closing upon his eyes, but held on with the last ebb of his rapidly waning vitality. He could feel its grip lessening as a hideous gurgling sound erupted from the writhing maw. The jelly-like mass began to bubble like a vat of boiling tar as quivers passed up and down its entire form. End of available copy. But thankfully, we
Hey.
have the lost ending. If you care to.
Oh yeah, sure. Let's conclude this DeviantArt fantasy here. With a sloshing pump, the thing fell to the ground. Oh, it's dead, evaporating in a thick scarlet cloud until it retained its original
Reattained.
size. Reattained its original size. Yeah, there you go. That's right.
Yep.
It remained thus for a moment as the puckered maw took a shape of a protruding red eyeball, the pupil of which seemed to unravel before it the tale of creation. How a shapeless mass slithered from the quagmires of the stigmatic pool of time, only to degenerate into a leprosy of oh
Avaricious.
my god, avaricious lust. In that fleeting moment, the grim mystery of life was revealed before Grigner's ensnared gaze. Well, almost get bored and learn the secrets of the universe.
Yeah.
The eyeballs glared turned to a sudden plea of mercy, a plea for the whole of humanity. Then the blob began to quiver with violent convulsions. The eyeballs shattered. Well, there was eyeballs, and there's eyeball.
Yep.
The eyeball shattered into 1,000 tiny fragments and evaporated in a curling wisp of scarlet mist. The very ground before the thing began to vibrate and swallow it up with a belch. The thing was gone forever. All that remained was a dark red blotch upon the face of the earth, blotching things up, shaking his head. Really?
All those blotches blotching things up like that.
Oh, those demonic eyeballs. They never learn. His shaggy mane to clear the jumbled fragments of his mind. Gringer tossed the limp female over his shoulder, mounting one of the disgruntled mares and leading the other. The weary, scarred barbarian trudged slowly off into the horizon to become a tiny pinpoint in a filtered cloud of swirling blue mist, leaving the nobles, soldiers, and peasants to replace the missing monarch. Long live the king!
Long
What king?
leave the king.
Yeah,
With
what
four
king?
exclamation marks. There was no king. There was a prince. Winner of the
So,
J.T. Rykosh Award for Excellence.
so, well, who are they praising then? Who's this king they're praising?
I, I, it's supposed to be like a big cinematic goodbye to
Oh,
fucking
I know what it is. I'm just so
long,
what is Gregner the king?
I guess, and long leave him.
Bro, thanks for killing our prince.
Now,
Kind of a
here's the
dick.
interesting bit: the transcriber's note. No mere transcription can give the true flavor of the original printing of the Eye of Argon. It was mimeographed with stencils cut on an elite manual typewriter. Many letters were so faint as to be barely readable, others were overstruck, and some that were to be removed never got painted out with correction fluid. Usually, only one space separated sentences, while paragraphs were separated by a blank line and were indented 10 spaces. Many words were grotesquely hyphenated, and there were illustrations. I cannot do them justice in mere words, but they were a match for the text. These are the major losses of this version of the Eye of Argon. Otherwise, all effort has been made to retain the full and correct text, preserving even misspelling and dropped spaces. An excellent proofreader has checked it for errors both omitted and committed. What mismatches remain are mine. I shall endeavor to keep a copy of the original available for viewing, so it may be appreciated in all its fullness, but as a labor of love for those whose third-generation copies have now succumbed to the bitter vicissitudes of time and entropy, worn away by the ravages of countless rereadings before enthralled audiences, yet who have found that the heady flavor of its stylistic paragraphs have seeped into their soul and still grips it with a fervid grasp, I dedicate this machine-readable version of the inimitable The Eye of Argon.
Trevor's note that that proofreader they had killed himself.
Yeah. It's fucking horrible. So
So
that,
what?
my
So this
friends,
one. So this one. Hold on. This won a prize.
no, the JT that JT Rykosh was the guy who did the illustrations.
Okay.
He was just throwing his bid in at the end there with his ward of excellence. So that, my friends, is the Eye of Argon. What did you think, Will?
Fail me.
What?
I think I said words have failed me here. I think Mr. Jim here has done enough descriptions for one night.
For one lifetime, he's dead now.
Yeah, really.
Oh, but what a legacy to leave.
Yeah, he's not going to be forgotten, that's for sure, at least for a while. Don't know if that's what I want to be remembered for, though.
I mean, it's not like he has a say in the matter.
He had to say he wrote this fucking...
No, I mean, he's
Children.
dead. So, he can't exactly attest to us remembering him with this bullshit.
God, that's...
But, yes. Did you enjoy the reading?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
We'll put it at that, yeah.
That was a story, most definitely.
It's not even a long story, it just takes fucking forever, because... all the confusing sentences in there.
Yeah. Yeah. It was pretty bad. Pretty bad, but I think that goes without saying. I don't think I've ever read anything that comes that meets the same level of bullshit as what we just read.
The original script of The Room.
You just
That reading that actually remind me heavily of the kind of shit that Tommy Wiseau was putting into his original script of The Room.
Man.
It pretty much is his version of Conan the Barbarian.
Yeah, so The Eye of Argon is Conan the Barbarian as written by Tommy Wiseau. I don't think there's any other words to do it justice. So that's it for one night. Man, this ended up clocking in just over 3 hours.
Jeez.
Yeah. Well, I hope you all enjoyed as much as I have, and yeah. Stay tuned for more fucking bullshit. Until next time, any words of wisdom to leave with us, Will?
Proofread your ass.